all of this. But what better way to wake up on Friday morning and just think to yourselves, we have got so much Zerg to watch today. It's going to be insane. Alright guys, let's get this ready to roll. I actually do have a little thing that I can change here to say best of 15. That's already actually almost set up. I forgot to do that before because I got preoccupied. Does that look okay? Does it need to be a bit... but yeah, it looks good, it looks good. Alright, let's do this then. We kick off our best of 15 game number 1 on Acid Plant to the top left hand side of the map with a 12 pool from the pink Zerg player, soO. He took down soO 4 games to 1 yesterday in a very aggressive 1 hour 5 map series. Very aggressive games, both players playing aggressively throughout, and soO coming out on the upper end there. As we do have to the bottom right hand side of the map the blue Zerg player. It is from NC Sports. It's Serral, who came through soO in the round of 16, 2 games to 1. So he could also beat soO, so they're on the same page in sort of that terms. He also beat Snoot 3 games to 1 in the round of 8, and then he took down Gummyho 4-2 yesterday. Obviously not ZvZ, but a very impressive run here by... These guys have actually had fairly similar runs. Serral took down Gummyho 4-2, soO took down Innovation 3-2 in the round of 8. They've both taken down a big Terran in the playoffs, a big Zerg name as well. So they've both taken down soO throughout this event. They both had very solid group stages. It's been... It's interesting. It's interesting to see. As we are going to be seeing these group of lings initially coming across the map here, then from soO, and the first set of lings going to be coming down to get some action rolling here. So some lings moving down towards the bottom right hand side. soO being aggressive on Acid Plant, our first game of this series. soO will continue to make lings. He did actually go into gas as well to get that ling speed started, and he's continuing to mine it to start up his baneling nest. So keeps 3 workers in, uses one of the workers from the gas to make the bane nest at 50 gas, and then he has 2 workers left in, which is the perfect number to get enough kind of income to be able to make some banes on the other side. And so full on aggression, full on all in from soO here in game number 1 of this series. A few drones pulled down to the low ground from Serral to try and push this back, but doesn't quite have the numbers he needs just yet. He has got a spine crawl up on the high ground. Honestly, for now, losing the hatchery is not going to be that big a deal because it isn't a hatchery follow-up, and Serral does see this. So he's going to know it's a 12 pool, and he's going to know no hatchery, means that gas was taken, and knowing that gas was taken really will just give him the information he might need to help defend against this. He's still mining gas, and now his own baneling nest will start to come into play here as soO, and he'll be able to start morphing his own banes just under Serral's overlord. Again, at this point, soO recognizes that Serral will know what's going on already. And you can see those lings coming down the low ground from Serral, just going to try and take a bit of a skirmish before the banes come into play. Maybe looking to try and send a couple of lings onto a baneling already, but not going to happen just yet. First queen going to come towards the ramp and wants to try and target fire down those banelings, as should the spine crawl, and he does start target down very nicely. 2 banes going down, now 3. The thing is, those banes are dying next to the spine and next to the queen, and so soO is able to pick off both of those fairly quickly. As we're going to be seeing one more baneling coming down on the low ground. And again, lings and a queen here from Serral, looking to defend. Another nice bit of target firing to minimize the damage on his own lings. Problem is now he just doesn't have his own banelings morphed in. How does he actually get his own banes in? Well, he'll morph them in the mineral line where the drones can surround and help him to buy time. He's still up by 5 workers, so he can afford to lose a few. As now the lings of soO going to try and dive forwards here, and he is going to get rid of one baneling morphing. The other baneling is very low on HP when it's morphing in here, but the baneling does finish. Well, that's actually a soO baneling that comes in over here, though. And now Serral still doesn't really have that much army to defend with. And it is just going to be GG. soO picks up the first $50 of the day. Let's see what happens as we go into game 2. To the top left-hand side, our pink Zerg player, it is soO. And to the lower right, our blue Zerg is Serral. Again, welcome to the series. If you're just joining us, it's game number 2. You missed a fairly fast game number 1. As we set up into this. Can you have other colours? What colours were they last time? Were they red and pink? Or was blue and pink just not so obvious, I guess? I can try and get them to play red and blue. Perhaps. If it's a big issue. Usually blue and pink's okay, though. Well, I'll keep an eye on it this game, and we'll see. Because I know soO likes to play in pink. He doesn't like to change colours that often. We're already making it. He already has to show up and play 15 maps of the matchup he doesn't like today. Sue was pretty funny when he came into this to the chat. He was just like having a laugh and having a good time, which is good to see. You know, he is getting ready to enjoy himself with the ZvZ. It seemed so pretty good, pretty fun. All right, guys, game number 2. Let me just sit on up here to see what's gonna happen. Hatchery first from both players this time around, obviously, and then into a gas and pool. Means we're obviously already likely to see a much slower game, not as much aggression from the get-go. It is Backwater, mapped by Avex, which is a bit of a larger map in general. This third base is very safe to be taken as well at some point, so it's a pretty nice map to play the longer game on if that's what these players are going to be looking towards here. As we set on up and get rolling. A couple queens on the way up from both. Let's see where we go with this. I really do hope Serral can put up a fight, and I think he will be able to. He's already shown us some pretty exquisite ZvZ this week in his matches against Snoot, in his matches against soO. He played very, very well. So I would love to see him doing fairly well here today. Again, I definitely think soO's a favorite. He's very good at ZvZ himself. He's very aggressive and decisive with his aggression as well, which is something which really goes a long way in the matchup. If you can be decisive with your aggression, you know how you want to attack, etc. It can be so difficult for your opponent to actually have that same level of, decision making, and that becomes, that's very quickly becomes very beneficial for you, and something you can kind of just abuse to take advantages and to push yourself ahead in the games. A couple of lings against 4 lings is going to be soO to win this fight, and Serral will have to turn away pretty much immediately with that Zergling. Lateness on the way down from both players right now. Ling speed will be finishing up in a few moments as well. And again, third hatchery currently coming down from both players too. A couple of lings on the way out, some drones building too, a couple of overlords are going to start popping. And let's see what's going to happen, as we do seem to just have a bit of a more macro-focused game. Both players going to get ling speed finishing. It's a large map, so the ling speed will definitely help out in a lot of bits and pieces, I feel, even though the third base isn't very kind of engageable. But that's probably why we're just seeing players droning up a lot. They're both sort of saying, well, don't feel as though you're going to make lings, and so if you're not, I'm not. And so they just drone, and obviously eventually here they get to the point where they morph in, their Rotor and their Evo Chambers, and they get ready to go in towards the mid-stage of the game without anything really happening in the first few moments. Just a couple of lings coming to the left-hand side, and again a queen just sitting here, just in the front. A couple of lings in the Baneling coming through as well, obviously looking to see what they can get up to. And that single Zergling of Serral just going to jump up into the main base and have that little bit of a look around to see what is going on. And again, scouting important at this stage of the game. He sees the lair on the way up, and so Serral will respond with his own lair. +1 missiles on the way from Serral already. soO going to throw down his Evo Chamber and Rotor now. Obviously, that's why Serral has a little bit of a later lair here. It might be that soO wants to go into a Spire, and that might be why he prioritizes the lair over the +1 missiles. We'll see though, because I mean, it's not like he has to build that Evo Chamber if he does want to go Spire here. He could go Spire and +1. He's got a lot of gas in the bank, which is again maybe really a sign that Spire's the play right now. As this lair finishes up, he starts +1. He could again start +1 and Aspire, with the idea being that if you have +1 on the way up, you have that kind of follow up into Roaches, which is very powerful. But it looks as though he is just waiting to make Roaches with all the extra gas that he has been mining. So just saving that up, getting ready to roll. Roach speed starts as well, and that will be a little bit faster here. Serral will have his +1 finish without Roach speed. Very difficult to make use of it then, because it's very risky to move across the map if you don't have Roach speed. Because if you get into a situation you don't want to be in, there's no escaping from it, and your opponent will be able to chase you down with a better Roach number, and you have no way to really back away from that any longer. So pushing without Roach speed is very scary. So we'll see if Serral looks to do something with that +1 attack. He might not. He might just aim to go in towards +2 and hit a +2 timing instead. And we're just going to be seeing this initial Baneling here. From Serral, going to be trying to get picked off, but actually pretty good defense from Serral until he, oh wow, still gets it saved in the end. And now a couple of Roaches come forwards, and that Baneling of soO has to turn around also. Obviously just poking in, trying again, pick up information. Does see Rotron in the Evo Chamber, and he will see those wiggling away to signify upgrades. And so again, it's information Serral is putting into the big part of the puzzle. That is, what is soO up to, right now? Do I know exactly how this puzzle looks, or is there a piece that I'm missing that's going to blindside me and really kind of, be a pain in my ass later on when I have to try and figure out on the fly a way to deal with it? Answer is no, not really. He does see everything and he has got everything under control. And so Serral allowed to play his game, and so far again just playing with a few more drones, just 4 or 5 more at a time. A little bit behind in army supply, but definitely will add up to kind of benefit Serral, I guess, over time here. I mean, over time his army supply catches back up, right? And the small 5 to 10 army supply disadvantage, it's easily overcome by what by just soO having to attack across the map and being the aggressor versus that defender's advantage. Serral getting his +2 contaminated here, going to slow that down. And it's going to give soO a chance to catch back up in terms of the upgrades. Serral actually being very greedy right now with a Spire, an Infestation Pit as well. All the tech structures starting to come down into place. He must be very confident that he's going to be able to hold on. So if he is able to hold on, then obviously he's in a good position because he's going to have the chance to go into some Infestors. He's going to have the chance to maybe go for a Muta Switch. If he could do that, that would be pretty fantastic for him. But the question is, will he be able to survive into that point? Because yeah, that's all great, but there's a reason why other players don't do it all the time, because it is a bit risky, it is a bit of a greedy way to play. As we're going to see those Ravagers getting a shot off on the Overlord, but just one. So now we're going to see Roaches coming in from either side, and we're just going to be seeing a couple more Corrosive Bars coming down here. And look at this fight from Serral just jumping on this. No upgrade advantage from either side, but Serral just has more units and a better concave to work with here. And he is going to start working his way through this army. The Corrosive Bars actually going down in favor of soO. And Serral pushes forwards, he might want to try and target down some of those Ravagers. It's actually soO kind of holding on to this army for quite a while at the moment. He's going to see a couple more bars coming down. And Serral eventually again will turn this away, just slightly faster reinforcements for him. And now he'll be able to chase this down. And actually as he chases, remember, he has got +2, 30 seconds from finishing. So as he arrives, he's about to hit an upgrade lead. And that upgrade lead could be something which starts him off onto a whole new kind of venture in terms of an advantage in this game. He starts with a couple of Infestors as well. So 2 Infestors on the way out. And we're just going to be seeing this Overseer just going to be coming up in towards the main base. Again, just scouting around, seeing what's going down. Didn't find a Contaminate on the +2, which means that soO's +2 is actually not that far behind any longer. That's a nice Contaminate from Amelia, and he really did make the most out of getting him a bit back in towards the game in that regard. Power coming in now as well. Remember though, soO does not have Infestors, and the couple of Infestors from Serral, they can go a long, long way in terms of what they can get up to against this army. They come in and hit a big fungal growth. All of a sudden, you're talking Corrosive Biles on soO's army, which you can't micro against, and it's very quickly going to go against soO, and into Serral's favor. I'm going to fight here. I don't think soO has seen those Infestors just yet. He's going to be splitting up into 2 different directions. An army to the right-hand side, an army more towards the center. And again, if you can just find... Ooh, he's actually going to get a big surround here, so here we go. soO looking for this, but we are going to see a fungal growth to the top side. He's going to hold off a bunch of those Roaches initially. Corrosive Bars trying to follow it up as well. He's got one more fungal available. Reinforcing Roaches over here. There's another nice fungal, and on top of the Ravagers as well, they're going to disappear, and that's a huge pick off here from Serral. And soO put himself into just too good a position, though I don't think so. The only reason there's a difference in supply because both players are rebuilding, and soO just started up his wave of Roaches a little bit sooner than Serral's. We're now going to see Serral continue to fight this, and he will just overrun this army. And he's going to win this rather convincingly in the end. He goes up 25 supply. He's got Burrow on the way. He did lose his Infestors during the fight. He had one of them kept alive, and one goes down. 3 more being added, though, and Serral's army's getting better. soO's isn't really. He's actually got +1 Carapace on the way up soon. But that's about it right now as we see this Ravager starting to morph in. So Ravager morphing in at the moment, a few more Roaches just going to pop, and a lot of these units are going to be gathering up towards the 4th base. Again though, Serral ahead on army supply, and if he gets ready to attack soon, he's actually already taken his advantage and throwing down a Hydra Den with it. Again, his army getting stronger and stronger, and a few Roaches here from soO just rallying into the middle of the map. That's not how he's meant to be playing this. soO might be in a little bit of trouble here. Serral pushes forwards, maxed out, so is soO, but he still has so much more in the production tab than Serral does. I guess it's kind of even now, and of course soO, shorter reinforcement distance, but here we go, pushing in already. Corrosive Bar will force Serral to back away just momentarily. Again, previously we saw kind of soO send up that massive sort of flanking position. There's a bit of a hard 4th base to push into. This is a map from the macro category, and being a map from the macro category is going to be a map that is very difficult to, push into and, deny bases on. That fungal corrosive bile combo though once again going in Serral's favor. Obviously it's going to go in his favor because soO doesn't have fungals of his own. Another fungal coming down, more corrosive biles dropping on top of the army as well. And soO is already taking heavy losses to this. One more fungal growth. Now the infestors are out of energy, but the value he's gotten out of them are pretty huge. Serral going to stand in a couple of bars, but I think you can already see that he's going to break through this position. Serral with enough roaches and ravages to hit the 4th base. The ravages are going down. The drones and bases will go down as well. And Serral has this one in the bag to tie it up 1-1. To the bottom left-hand side, it's going to be our blue Zerg player from NC Sports. It's Serral. And to the upper right-hand side, our red Zerg player, it is soO. And as we're not seeing any early aggression, I'll just say again, guys, we are only 11 subscribers away from 300, which is super incredible. And we're going to push. We're going to sell out today. We're going to push for 300. I don't know what we'll do. What should we do if we hit 300 subs today? You guys got any fun plans? You guys got any fun ideas? You guys come up with something fun for 300 subs if we hit it today? Well, we'll see if we can find a fun idea to do if we hit 300 subscribers today. Only 11 away. It's September as well, which means you get half price. It's also your final chance to get our August replay packs. If you subscribe today, you'll get the full set of August replay packs and this first set of September replay packs. After today, we are no longer sending out the August replay packs. Future subs will only get the September replay packs. So you're going to be missing out on 200 plus replays if you subscribe after today. So it's the last day to get your hands on that. And obviously you will get your hands on all of these replays from today and from the previous days of the map test tournament as well if you're a subscriber. Sub email going to be going out again just a little bit later on today. So we set up into game number 3. soO, top right, Serral bottom left. Defenders Resort, one of the other macro maps. Some interesting games on this one. This is yeah, a little bit interesting. Kind of hatch first, obviously. The 3 base, 4 base is all on kind of the same level. We'll see how it works out for the ZvZ. There's a few different pathways through the center. We've actually not seen a lot of Defenders Resort going in towards the later stages and getting to see how armies move through the center and that sort of stuff, which is a bit of a shame, honestly. So hopefully we maybe see a little bit of that here today. If we see a game like the last game, it'd be pretty cool. For example, hopefully it's not just some sort of big Ling attack that wins the game or so. Because I do think out of all the maps, Defenders Resort is the one which you really just haven't seen a longer game on to see army movements, etc., you know? This is already super hyped. 2 of my favorite players going for a best of 15. Says Maximal Craziness. Well, glad you're hyped, man. And obviously go and tell people, guys. I know it's a ZvZ, not everyone wants to come and tune in, but 1-1, I mean, this could go the distance. This could be pretty crazy. This could be pretty darn crazy. 15 more ZvZs if we hit 300 subs. Janus Only Cup for 300 subscribers. There is actually plans in the work to make an Arch of Janus Only event. It is actually happening. Different third hatch is being taken here by soO and Serral. Serral upwards, soO forward. In the ZvZ, I don't think there's an advantage to either. They're both accessible nearby by ramps. No, I don't think there's really a disadvantage to taking either. I don't think it makes much of a difference in ZvZ. You suggest I sing fancy on stream? Dude, I'm too good to sing fancy on stream. I'd literally, like, I should charge money. Oh wait, that is charging money if I'm asking 300 subs for it. I sing fancy on stream all the time, mate. Arch of Janus Rings a Liberty tournament. That would be kind of funny. Gonna be seeing some more Lings just coming on in here from soO. A few Banes on the way up over to the left-hand side. And just looking to see how this is gonna go. So we're going to move on forwards and just try and get ready to defend against this little bit of an onslaught. His own Bane's now coming into the fray. Obviously splits up 2 and 2, so he can minimize the damage he's going to take. He actually gets a good trade there with his initial couple of Banes. Now he's going to get 2 for 2 once more. 1 Bane left to deal with. 1 Zergling jumps on it instantly. And he'll just have to keep sending maybe a couple more Lings towards this position. But he has held on to his third base. And Serral does this with a little bit of an eco lead as well. 34 to 25 workers. So he's actually making another round of Ling Bane, which is scary because Serral isn't immediately prepared. With more Ling Bane of his own, sends 3 Lings to deal with the 2 on this Baneling. He will actually go forwards and cancel that Baneling. His third hatch still taking some damage here, trying to buy time by sending his Lings in. A little bit of a sacrifice. Got to remember, Serral actually kills a few workers across the map with a couple of Lings. He is in this position where he's very far ahead in economy, and so if he can just stay alive, this game really is going to be looking very good for Serral, but staying alive is not going to be easy at all, as he is looking for a connection on those two Banes with that Baneling there, but he loses control of his Baneling at the very end. Now 2 more Banes of his come forwards, and what does he want to try and connect onto? That could have been the connection to save the day, perhaps. This is very close right now, but Serral is taking an army supply lead. Queens have made their way over to the third. He will lose the third hatchery, but multiple workers ahead. Look at that income lead. He's definitely mining enough to justify going back into a third hatchery. He's going to keep a worker lead here as well. A couple more drones on the way up. He's going to stay ahead in that, and already thrown down the roach drone. Getting ready to go for this once more. Third hatch, of course, surviving for soO, sure, but I think Serral comes out of this in a pretty decent position. You're seeing hatchery on the far left-hand side then, setting up in towards this, as we're going to be seeing the Zergling running on around and looking to see what is happening. Just get picked off right there. And these couple of Banes of soO coming back down in towards the third base. Yeah, and Roach is on the way up, and we're just going to be seeing Lings passing each other by in the center as they both continue to look for information. Again, I'd say overall, Serral, he took this big lead for like, you know, that's about a minute to, you know, this is 5 minutes, so what, it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, he had that big eco lead. Again, I think for losing the third hatchery, it sort of makes up for it. Yeah, I think overall, you know, 300 resources loss difference. I actually think this game's fairly even, and maybe even a little bit beneficial to Serral, because right now, Serral's making a lot of units already. Well, our Roach is on the way up. It's funny because he started +1, so he's not just looking to all in, but he's already started to make a bunch of units, and he's not droning any further like soO is. Maybe that's a bit of a concern though, actually, because soO, while droning right now he's going to take that eco lead, and as he starts to sit ahead on his income, his army supply is going to start catching up to Serral's to the point where it's going to become even, and that's where Serral might run into issue here. His +1 attack is just a few seconds ahead of his opponent, so there's not much he can really aim for in that, you know, that sort of style. Feelings of soO coming forwards as well. Ooh, Serral's Banes are not in a good position here at all. They're kind of out on their own. I'm not sure why exactly they're over here, and the Queen's going to clean up as well. A little bit of a mistake there by Serral, but he is going to start pushing across the map with these roaches. The thing is, though, soO is also making roaches, but he doesn't have quite as many. This map is actually going to see Queen's coming forwards as well, and soO going to try and supply block Serral. High ground position is pretty good though, and again, losing his Banes a bit earlier than the rest of his army is a bit of a shame, because now he doesn't have his own Banes. There's Lings here from soO, there's a Spine Crawler on the way up, and he's setting up defensively, knowing that Serral is so heavily committed to this attack in the next few moments. Army supplies are starting to even up, and again, it's been soO who took that eco lead and is now starting to catch up on army supply just because of it. Serral was hitting a supply block here and there as well. And here we go, ready to roll. Now, it will still depend a lot on Baneling connections and getting the right little bits and pieces here. As you can see so far, well, the Banelings go down for Banelings, and another Baneling just rolling forwards. A couple of Corrosive Bowels will force back, because the problem is, again, Queens Transfusers, Spine Crawlers here, and everything is just in position to work out for soO. He has what he needs to defend this, but Serral is taking the fight without with the +1 against no +1 for just a few seconds. Maybe that gives him just a little bit of momentum. He needs to really fight through this, but those Spine Crawlers are going to be so frustrating, and Serral is just going to run into a brick wall here, as soO is just going to be a little bit too strong. He is going to defend on this high ground, and he is going to be able to save this day. Put more Corrosive Bowels, but that will be about it for now, as we're going to be seeing soO be able to push Serral back over to the left-hand side. Queen's still on the way up, and we're just going to be seeing soO really did just hold off, you know, this attack, and obviously he's got a lair, he's got roach speed on the way up, and he can go into +2 attack if he wants to as well. He add more workers, he's been mining more for a while now, and again that was very much so seen here with a very solid defense, had the Spine Crawlers set up as well, and everything went soO's way in this. I just wonder, Serral, what went wrong for him, or why did he feel the need to go for this attack? I mean, obviously he just sort of committed to it, but I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. He had like a few Banes that got caught off guard early as well. It's funny because I still feel as though this attack over here where Serral lost his hatchery, I still think this was okay for him because of the eco lead he held. And army supplies are still kind of close right now, but only because soO is droning and investing into roach speed, into +2. Serral's going to go for one more sort of Hail Mary attack where he's just going to hope that soO is overdrawn and making, you know, 70 workers instead of stopping at 55, hoping that he is making maybe not just +2 attack but also getting into +1 carapace, because that's the only way Serral wins this game right now, to find a crazy kind of good engagement for himself where he just has more units, and that's only going to happen if soO puts his resources into other things, because obviously soO is mining a heck of a lot, and the reality is soO is actually making a lot of roaches as well. Enough to keep him alive, and enough to stop him from really kind of running into any issue here. Actually going to see soO getting aggressive, starting to push in towards the center. Corrosive Bowels will pick off, not quite pick off an overload, but try to. Thing's going to run by now, so this is the sort of thing that can bring Serral back into the game. I like it, changing up his playstyle. Until now, he didn't really see any run-bys, but obviously realizing he's behind, he's going to start trying to get some damage done, and again, pick away at bits and pieces, find opportunities to get himself back into this game. When you can't find yourself a way back into the game, you know, this game's going to be over, and obviously taking straight-up fights might not be the answer now, so love to see Serral changing things up and going a bit differently, kind of in towards the next stage of this. It's actually really cool to see that happening. It's, yeah, it just shows Serral really understands how the game's working right now, and that, you know, the position he's in, he admits to what's going wrong for him. Remember, Serral has no roach speed, so if soO wants to disengage from this fight that he's about to walk into, he definitely can very easily, but I think soO kind of wants to take it in a way. He's going to back off for now again. soO can't really be punished by Serral in that regard, and now soO's going to be set up on the low ground, and Serral is attacking forward, sitting in Corrosive Bowels as he does so, trying to split up and get a concave, but his units on the bottom side are just trailing so heavily compared to the fact that he's just attacking into more and more units of soO here. +2 isn't even done, and soO is already destroying it in this fight, and as soon as that +2 finishes up right about now, it's only going to get worse for Serral, and soO is looking to take game number 3 to take a 2-1 lead in this best of 15. Serral committed to fully committed to making units and winning with those units. As you do set up into game number 4. Let's see if he can tie it up once again in this series. To the top right hand side from NC Sports, our blue Zerg player is Serral. Bottom left hand side, our pink Zerg is going to be soO. Again, how are you all doing today, guys? Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the stream if you just tuned in. 15 maps of ZvZ today. And hope you guys are excited to keep this rolling. It's going to be seeing some drones mining away here. I'm going to be seeing the couple of extra drones on the way out. And it's a hatch first from both, so looking as though a bit more of a macro-oriented one, but we'll see how much pressure is applied. Obviously, in the last game, for example, soO went very heavy on pressure, and to the point where he could have maybe ended the game if it had gone a bit better for him. Still stand by the fact I think Serral defended well up until then. I think he was in a fine position at that stage of the game. It was the follow-up that he chose to go for that soO just kind of counted almost perfectly. Damn, Twitch gives me Pampers advertising. Well, that's intriguing. How you guys doing? In the chat, let me know if you guys are enjoying the game so far. Let me know who you're cheering for in Serral versus soO. Are the games looking as you expect them to? Are the games maybe a bit closer than you thought they were going to be? I want to know what you guys I want to know what you guys are thinking. I want to know what you guys are feeling. So let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. Let me know how you guys are doing. Game 4 of this best of 15 series. Oh, moving towards the upper right hand side. Set up and ready to go. Drones just mining away on the main base. You're going to be seeing the queens. Going to be setting up on the natural expansion as well. And again, just seeing how this continues. Third hatch on the way up from Serral. A third hatchery on the way up from soO as well. Wing speed on the way from both right now. And a few Zerglings on the way up from soO also. 14 lings actually currently in production. 14 lings on the way up. We see a couple of banelings from soO also currently morphing in, so he's going to get aggressive here. Serral's making lings as well. Obviously, the kind of general way this free base ling bane kind of style goes is kind of to just go in towards kind of the free base against free base, and kind of just going in towards kind of the lings being made from both players to be go on offense. Serral already dropping a Rotoron though, so he's going to bypass the bane nest, go into Rotoron. He could get aggressive with this too, as Serral pulls away nicely to minimize that initial baneling. Second baneling does quite a bit as well. Again, Serral's micro has to be on point here right now though, because again, he's aiming to defend without banes, and so to do that, you need to make sure you're not losing too many Zerglings. The Queen's coming forwards now as well. We'll try and target those Banes down. He's going to get 1 and 2. The Bane's trying to come in, helping to get damage onto the Queens as well. This will be a defense as soO is pushed back. And Morling is just coming down and towards the bottom, or through the right-hand side of the map here. Serral coming in over to the bottom left-hand side. And you see a bunch more Zerglings currently on the way up, and couple of Queens again atop this ramp, as we're going to be seeing those Zerglings turned away once again now. I'm just going to see the third hatchet of soO under fire. That Rotoron came down, but we're yet to see it being used, and Serral's actually just drawn, so not looking to be too aggressive at all. 36 to 35 workers. soO with just another round of workers already underway though. Lots of gas in the bank from soO, so Serral, as he begins to make roaches now, I do worry just a little bit, because if he commits to something here, he's not going to get a lot done, because by the time soO's Rotoron finishes, he will still be able to make a whole bunch of roaches, enough to turn this attack around and go from there. So Rotoron about halfway done right now is going to be seeing lings. Again, a surround on the Queen. Queen will fall. And again, a nice little attack here by soO, but Serral cleans up. Actually, his unit production, his army supply is getting really kind of high, but again, as soon as this Rotoron finishes, soO's going to have, what, like 12 roaches on the way? Starts up 9. He's got plenty of gas and minerals left though, so he's going to make a couple more. There's 12, and well, again, he can still add a couple more. You can save up for the Ravagers now, and soO is the player that doesn't have a +1 upgrade in this. So now soO is going to be exploding in army supply. 15 roaches. The thing is, if Serral sees this and gets an idea it's coming, he does have, you know, the setup to build into his own roaches to defend, and if he defends, he is going to have the +1 upgrade on the way to push him into a lead in the game. The lings coming forwards, and again, so far he just sees the lings, and that's, oh my god, don't lose the lings to the baneling. Serral's playing a very dangerous game right now with this baneling, man. It's really kind of scary to watch him do it. He loops around towards the third base, but the roaches are going to be coming out somewhere else. Well, he sees a couple here. The thing is, he only sees a couple, right? So he's not going to get full information about it. Looping all the way around, you can see those lings running through, and we are going to see the roaches able to get some damage done. And you're going to see the lings now jump into the main base. So Serral knows about this. He can start up his own roach production, but is it a bit too late? He's already on 58 drones, which is quite high. His +1 is done in 40 seconds, but does he have 40 seconds until his opponent comes in here? Well, he could take down these rocks. That would actually delay quite a bit. In fact, that would be a really good thing for Serral to do here, because it would delay the attack into his third base. Currently some Queens pushing back an Overlord. All these spines are very centralized, and Serral might just be in a position where he wants to give up the third base. I'm really not sure why he doesn't take down this rock tower and just knock down the position between his... Well, okay, he's going to go for it. So he's going to knock this down. There's actually a Baneling morphing underneath. Goodbye, Baneling. It was nice knowing you. Kaboom. So again, Serral will buy some time, and now the spine's going to reposition to this location. You know what, Serral, he's going to have +1 attack. He's going to buy himself maybe enough time to make this work. He's got the Queens, he's got the spines. Obviously, he's up against Ravagers as well here. So let's see what he can do. The +1 is in play. The spines are going to start the fight. The Queens will have them transfusions. And Serral obviously has more roaches joining the fray every few moments as well. He needs to pull back. He needs these spines to be fighting, because that's a lot of DPS output he's going to gain from that he isn't going to gain in the fight like this, where he's sat out of range of those spine crawlers. He's eager to keep on fighting, but the thing is, he's not the one that needs to keep fighting. soO is. So it doesn't really make sense for Serral to kind of, again, fight without those spines, because look how much better it's going to go for him as soon as those spine crawlers are joining in here. But now he doesn't have enough to stand with the spine crawlers, and that's an issue, because now the spines are going to die. And it's all because of the way that Serral was maybe attacking a bit too far forwards. As it stands, though, Serral is still going to look to clean this up, and he's about to hit roach speed, so he will clean these roaches, you know, chase these roaches down and take them down. And Serral is going to find himself a defense here of a 12-worker advantage. It is going to work out. It was just a bit scarier than I felt it should have been. I just feel as though if he had pulled back that little bit more, that slight difference could have gone just a little bit further. Roaches here from Serral pushing through the south side, and we're going to be seeing a couple of lings moving forwards. Roaches again from Serral, looking to see what they can do. With Roach Speed, man, they can kite and they can do what they want against the Roaches of soO. And that's soO's issue. He's being forced to fight when he doesn't really want to here. He's forced to turn around into engagements that aren't that beneficial for him. And now backing away. Even if the Lings come into tank, the Roaches just kite away, so the Roaches of soO cannot get the damage done. And Serral is held on. He's held this attack, and he is looking to tie the series up 2 apiece as we're going to be seeing this larger fight now. And I think this is the point where soO types out. GG, Serral ties it up 2 apiece. Now matching him as he goes. So let's see this game number 5. To the bottom right hand side of the map, we do have the red Zerg player from NC Sports. It is Serral. And despite the size of the map, it's going to be a gas first to 13-12 from our pink Zerg top left, soO. Thank you so much coming in with the resub, by the way. Jimmy Jam Bars coming in for Jimmy Jam Jars coming in for 10 months. Get some Woody Hearts in the chat, please, for the resub. And just while we're on the topic of subs, do remember it's your last day if you want to subscribe to get the replays, to get August's replay packs. This is the last day we're going to be giving those out. After today, it'll be September replay packs only for new subscribers, plus obviously the new replay packs you get as the month goes on. So your last chance to get the August replay packs, if you want those, subscribe today. They feature Innovation, Classic, Solar, soO, and so on. Obviously, you'll also get the replay packs from this event featuring Innovation, Solar, Classic, soO, and a whole bunch of others, TY for example as well. Been a lot of great games this event, so definitely get your hands on those replays while you can if you want them. So get subscribed today. 11 subs from 300. And it's half price. It's September. Half price subscriptions if you're not a subscriber already. So get on that, guys. If you're obviously using a Twitch Prime, you can also subscribe for free. If you click that sub button, it can say subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. If you haven't already used your Twitch Prime on someone this month. So go and check that out as well if you're a Twitch Prime user. And we'd be happy to have you. You're going to be seeing the few Zerglings coming across here and getting set to come down the right-hand side. Looking to get some damage done in the next few moments. Bane and Nest on the way up from soO. As we get set up into this, looking to see how aggressive... Well, we kind of see how aggressive he's going to be. Hatch gas pool from Serral. There's 2 queens starting up. Again, it's a long map. It takes a long time to get across here. soO really sending his Lings the long way around though, so that Serral doesn't know what's going on for quite a long time. We'll see where he sends his next set of Lings as well to try and avoid these Overlords, perhaps. Again, so far, Serral has no reason to begin preparing against this, and so he's going to be caught fairly off guard right away. I mean, again, he's just not going to know about the fact that there's Lings up. Or is he? Oh, no way, Serral. No, he turns around. I mean, it's such a large map. There's so many places to go. And the single Zergling is not going to find the info he needs. Now he's going to see those Lings moving over, and he's going to see a lot of them. So obviously he begins to realize what is going on. Does Serral have time to actually set up a defense here? Spine building on the low ground. He might have to build one on the high ground as well, honestly. Drone's already going to pull up back in towards the main base. The first few Zerglings are going to jump on top of Banes. They're not going to set any off, though, because the Speedlings are coming in, and they're going to be able to force these back. We're going to see the Banes coming in, too, and we're just going to be left to fight here for a little while. That Spine on the low ground is starting to go down. A couple of Lings ready to try and fill this hole in the wall. Spine on the low ground goes down, no cancel there, and this other Queen is about to drop, too. Spine on the high ground isn't going to last much longer, and Serral again completely caught off guard right now here in game 5. And soO's aggression is going to strike once again. He'll split the drones. Well, he'll run with the drones. He'll run, but oh dear. Every drone goes down, and that is GG. Just like that, soO is going to pick up the win on Neon Violet Lights. Welcome to Arch of Janus, guys. Welcome to Arch of Janus. It's a bit of a crazy map, as we have down to the bottom right. Our pink Zerg player, it is. That's right, soO. He's playing against the blue Zerg to the top side. It is going to be Serral. Both of them are going to go open with 3 drones here. No 12 pool, but we're going to see a gas initially coming down here from Serral. soO might actually go hatchery first. Gas pool from Serral, 14-14. And soO's still building up money to go hatchery first. So there it is, hatchery first coming down. Hatchery first is going to be. Wow. Hatch gas pool from soO then, as Serral sets up into this gas pool. I mean, the thing is from Serral, he'll be able to go gas pool hatch kind of quick because the minerals mine so quickly. So I actually kind of like this idea where he's going to be able to get in towards the kind of link speed a bit faster while not being too far behind on his hatchery. It's kind of interesting how that works out. Takes about 3 minutes, about 6 minutes here to mine through the minerals so you get access to these back blue bases. And we have yet to see a game. We've seen games where we get to 6 minutes and we just see one of these patches mining out. We're yet to see a game where we actually see the blue base be taken, or one of these blue bases being taken. Maybe, ironically, the ZvZ is the one where we do see it. Serral is already cutting drones a little bit. And as he comes across, he's going to see that this is a hatchery first. He's actually brought a drone across as well. I'm not sure what his plan is with the drone here, but I guess we'll see in the next few moments. Is he just going to try and build the spine crawler? He is indeed. So Serral going to try and build the spine crawler. And well, of course, it's ZvZ. I mean, ZvZ on Arch of Janus. When wasn't there going to be some aggression mixed into this? You're going to see soO. Well, he has his own lings on the way up, but can he fight against a spine crawler? He's actually going to go into a roach drone here, soO, but can he get enough roaches up as well? Is also going to be a question. The spine taking some hits. The drone's being pulled as well, helps out a lot. And Serral doesn't have reinforcements here just yet. Cancels the spine, and will probably have to just rebuild it here if he wants it once again. He's actually just going to bring the drone back home. Serral down by a couple of workers. That roach run about to finish up from soO though, and that could be Serral's issue. How does he deal with those roaches? That could be very, very difficult. Could be very difficult indeed. These lings still gathering together then. I'm just going to be seeing 4 Banes morphing in. 12 Zerglings coming through too. Yeah, no aggressive spine crawler any longer. But the first roach is on the way. First 2 roaches. Again, if they get surrounded though, it becomes a little bit of a weird scenario. As we're going to be seeing 1 more Baneling just coming into the south side. And 1 more Baneling just up here as well. I'm just going to be setting these lava up. Bane's going to push on forwards. And they're going to go towards the ramp here where they're going to try and, at least if they get picked off, go off on Queens. They're actually going to come down and look for these Zerglings perhaps. A couple of those roaches on the low ground as the Queens will start to fall. And access is being given up in towards the main base. Roaches are being surrounded fully. Baneling goes off and actually helps against those couple of roaches here. Serral makes progress into the main. soO, if he holds on here, without losing too many workers, well, he can lose a few, but he is starting to now be even on the worker count. It's going to be roaches against lings, which is something you can kind of fight as the ling user. If the roach count is kept low and you can get the surrounds consistently. Comes back down to the low ground, will back away before losing too much more, because numbers will be his friend. He could also target down this cooling tower as a way to kind of buy time from soO counterattacking, if he would like to. Seems like he wants to keep his own lings being able to be aggressive as well, though. soO actually going to go into burrow, which is very frustrating to deal with at this stage of the game. Because if you can burrow those roaches and heal up before they go down again, that becomes a massive nuisance. You do see a surround on the roaches, and again, looks as though a couple of these roaches will go down. Serral is keeping this low as... Oh, a couple of Banes went into this mineral line. soO is losing workers. Suddenly he's down on just 5. And Serral building more lings, a spine crawler. soO's not going to be able to keep up in this game anymore. Wow, a couple of Banes getting a huge connection there, and that's going to change potentially everything now. Now soO getting aggressive, but he's going to be again fighting into his spine crawl, fighting into Zerglings. And Serral is looking to keep up against this right now. As we're going to see these roaches pushing forwards. And, well, here we go. The Zerglings get the full surround, and again, soO doesn't really have a follow-up to this, because his worker count is so low. Oh, but he has burrow, and so he can keep these roaches alive at least. Serral moving forwards here, going to try and get another roach or two. Now those roaches pop back up. He's going to be able to maybe do a little bit of damage as the lings are out of position. And this is becoming a very weird scenario here on Arch of Janus. We see these roaches under attack once again, burrowing them as he goes. Now a spore crawler on the way up. But there's still some time here for those roaches to keep on regenerating. But there's lings in the mineral line, and soO realizes he's not going to be able to do enough. Did I just miss a resub coming through during that craziness? Thank you so much. JST Link actually came in 9 minutes ago. Sorry, I completely missed that then. JST Link, thank you so much for your 5-month resub. Woohoo, go Wardy. Yay, grand finals. Thank you so much for the 5 months. Can get some Wardy hearts up in the chat for JST Link. Appreciate the support, man. And glad you're hyped. Glad you're hyped. Glad you're enjoying. Guys, to the top left-hand side of Abiogenesis, our blue Zerg player from Sense Esports. It's Serral. Bottom right, our pink Zerg player is soO, opening 12 pool. This map needs to have players start with a base each side. This map just needs players to figure out what they can get away with and what they can't. We've seen so many players trying to expand early on this map for whatever reason. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. Why is there so many flies in my room? It's so weird. I just turned around, there's like 3 flies flying around in circles. We're halfway there. We are halfway there almost. Somehow, after barely an hour of games. I mean, that is ZvZ for you, right? That is ZvZ for you, as we're going to be seeing these Zerglings of soO. Going to be coming out onto the map here. Getting set and ready to go. Spawning pool on the way up from Serral as well in the main base. Spawning pool coming up, and we're just going to be seeing the hatch gas pool from Serral coming on down. A few Lings of soO coming through the center as well, and again, just that 12 pool. This time, no gas behind it, so he will expand, so he's not looking to do as much damage as he has previously with kind of 12 pool gas and so on. As you're going to see those Zerglings already starting to nibble their way through this hatchery. So let's see what Serral can do about it. Let's see what his micro is going to be like as he starts up 4 Lings. He'll pull some drones to buy time, because he wants to keep this hatchery alive, of course. He's actually pulling quite a lot of drones, because this time he will see a hatchery on the low ground of his opponent. So again, it becomes more important to keep this hatch alive than in the previous 12 pool gas game, where he was able to kind of give up the hatchery and not be too far behind. But as it stands, 2 workers lost already, and this hatchery is looking to fall. Well, here comes the Zerglings to fight as well. The drone's going to mineral walk through to the other side to get a bit of a better surround on this. How is this ending up? It looks as though Serral is going to have still a bunch of Lings to deal with, to the point where he's going to lose the hatchery on the low ground. soO, also having killed 7 workers, puts himself into a good enough position, and killing the hatchery is going to be the one to close this out. Game 7, we start to the top right hand side of the map with the blue Zerg player. It's Serral. He has never been behind by more than 1 map, but he has never led in the series. As to the bottom left hand side, our pink Zerg player, opening 13-12 here on Sky Garden. It is soO. Player's going to notice that this is not for horizontal spawns or close by air spawns in a couple of moments, and then they will start to scout vertically and see what information they can pick up. It's a nice spawn for soO here, kind of a very simple, just up the map reinforcement path. Doesn't have to bother going across, which can take a bit longer. Horizontal takes a little bit less time, obviously, but it's not actually that much different concerning, if you think about going from here, you got to go up here, then along, and then down a little bit. Whereas other than that, you have to go up here anyways, and you go along a similar sort of amount, and then you have the same sort of idea, right? Like, you still have to go in this little bit further, so it's not that much further away, the rush distance between nat to nat from close by air and the verticals that we have right now. So, setting up into this as we get ready to go. I was going to see she's 94. The Wardy hype triangle getting destroyed by Snarrow. Sniped by a lull. Bin nest coming up right now from soO. So setting up into the bin nest, getting ready to rumble. You can see a couple of Zerglings from soO coming out as well. One of them just going to take the watchtower for the moment. And I'm just going to see, obviously, again, he's playing super aggressively now. And still, right now, Serral doesn't know what he's up against. Now, this time he did open gas pool hatch, though, so a safer opening from Serral, and he's starting to cotton on to the fact that soO continues to play very aggressively throughout this series. So, especially on maps which he knows are maybe very good for hiding Zerglings and sticking them around. And so because of that, Serral is going to play a much more defensive style, which should give him a big advantage against a build order like this. He's not going to be too far behind on his own Bane nest. It will still come down to micro, but it's a very defendable situation from Serral here that could tie things up once again. This map is huge, by the way, guys. It's crazy. If you didn't see soO vs Innovation on this map, you really need to go and watch it, because it was pretty insane and long. Anyways, Bane's going to lead the charge up in towards the main base. A couple of Banes morphing in already. The Lings are going to start jumping on top of those right away, though. Evo Chamber here to block those Banes from the mineral line, but it's not good. It's not a full wall. And immediately 6 drones go down. That's a disaster, and there's 2 more. And so many of those drones low on health. Queen in not a great spot, and Serral was just so confident that the Evo Chamber was going to do it. And it just didn't quite do it, what he needed. And all of a sudden, Serral is down heavily in the worker count. He will lose his natural hatchery here. And, I mean, now he has to try and drone up while his opponent is going to be playing the, I'm very far ahead card and continuing to make units and just stop getting back into this game. This Queen's going to get surrounded as well, and Serral, for the first time this series, looking as though he's going to be trailing by more than just 1 map. Although for now, he's actually still holding on. Really only just, but he is holding on. You know, defense is a defense. Nice micro on this Balin to keep it alive, but again, for how much longer? One Balin will move on forwards and we'll try to see what it can get. Oh, it's saved again. Finally goes down. He got a lot of lings for that though, because a lot of lings got sent forwards to try and snipe it. Serral has drawn back up to 12 workers, and now he's going to try and make units. And again, trying to play the defensive and safe game to get back into this, trying to buy time. But that's not going to happen. And GG, for the first time this series, soO is going to take the lead, and it all was because Serral was down tomorrow. So yeah, I've got to get some stuff sorted for that. It'll be fun as we do enter this game number 9. Bottom right hand side, the pink Zerg player, again playing aggressively game after game after game. It is going to be soO. And he's going up against the blue Zerg to the upper left hand side, opening 13-12. It is Serral. So getting set up into this as we get ready to roll. Going to be seeing the drones just mining away and getting that gas pool play opening underway from Serral. Now soO is going to go hatchery first, so now that soO's not being aggressive, Serral will be, as he looks to pick up another win here. I'm just going to be seeing the opening here on Catalyst will be again from Serral to lead the charge. He's starting to pull out of gas, which means he is just going to stop at 100 and take a hatchery. So let's see if he can do enough of this 13-12 to get into the lead in game number 9. Again, this is the first time in the series Serral has trailed by more than one map. Let's see if he can bring it back to that just single map deficit as we continue on through the series. Remember, 8 maps is what it's going to take to guarantee first place and champion of the competition. But all 15 maps will be played anyway, because every map won is worth $50. And these are some of the fastest $50 I've seen being earned, if I'm going to be honest. soO's won a 2-minute 40-second game, $50 in the bag. He's won a 4-minute game just before that, $50 once again in the bag. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of interesting scenarios there. Serral, please beat Korea, says she's 94. Do let us know who you're cheering for. If you are cheering on Serral today, guys, let it be known in the chat. If soO is the one you're cheering on, let it be known in the chat. I want to hear which side of this you guys are all on. Now, Serral, hiding so far. He sees a couple of lings now with this Overlord. They're kind of late, right? Like, this could just be like a pool first couple of lings. And so soO is actually still droning and builds a Balin nest. But, ling speed about to kick in, and Serral is going to find himself pushing forwards. Queens aren't even out yet to help defend this. Obviously, that becomes a bit more of an issue. Serral's going to get in a position where he's waiting for this queen to pop, and there it is. He comes in, he's going to be able to grab this right away. Oh, he actually kind of dives around the other side and gets a kill on a drone, and try and just position himself to take fights that are very beneficial to him. More lings are coming across, so he's going to dive towards the mineral line in the main base now. A couple of surrounds on lings once again. Again, Serral playing this very carefully so far. Not committing to trading now, but rather committing to guaranteed damage, more or less. Continuing on to this hatchery then. A few more lings on the way up from soO. He does have that Balin that's coming into play. Serral, his own hatchery starting to build. If he can just kill this hatchery, it would put him in a great position to move forward strong, because then it's 300 minerals which soO has to recommit into. Actually, Serral going to see the opportunity to fight here, especially as these drones come down. He realizes that may be his opportunity to get a bit more damage done, but it's not going to be enough. He doesn't get any drone kills, and now because of it, he hasn't killed the hatchery. In fairness, the queens had transfusions anyways. And now there's a spine crawler as well, and soO is starting to run away with not just this game, but also the series. Queens on top of those Zerglings, and we're going to see the Lings coming back in, picking off a drone already. You're seeing some more Lings coming up top, and again, that Baneling from soO going to be here as well. Nothing Serral can do right now, apart from just back away from this. Not too far behind in income, actually. 16 to 17 workers. It's actually very playable. And Serral, again, with a Baneling nest of his own, will have his own defensive Banes. He's continuing to drone while soO will get aggressive. But obviously, if Serral can just defend, it should look pretty good for him. T-Queen sat in front of this spine crawl at the moment. The Lings pulling all the way back up here. We are once again just going to see those Lings just going to get pushed away. So a few Lings being pushed back. 10 more Zerglings on the way up right now from soO. As he comes across to counter once again, he's still just spamming Zerglings. So for Serral, he really needs to make some Banes. And to get that set up. Oh, did he never go Bane Nest? Why did I think Serral went Bane Nest? He never started mining gas again. Ooh. Sorry, my bad. I really thought Serral had a Bane in this finishing for some reason. I don't know what I saw, what went through my mind to think that, because obviously he stopped mining gas and he's just never gone back into it. Serral has been drawing quite heavily, but does he have enough to hold on still? Well, it doesn't really look like it so far. Queens on the low ground are going down. Banes are being targeted, but there's a Spine Crawler here that's just not going to really get a chance to finish. Drones are going to have to start pulling into this. Spine Crawler killed. Serral GG's, and soO takes the 6-3 lead now. He starts running now. Otherwise, the tournament's going to be decided. Obviously, still $50 to be won per map. But if Serral really wants to win this, rather than just taking home an extra few $50 here and there, he has to keep playing. You know, he has to start winning, I think, about now. Because otherwise, this will be very much so over. To the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player. It is from NC Sports. It's Serral. Top right-hand side, our pink Zerg player. It's soO. 12-3, let's go, says Jasper TUI. Do let us know who you're supporting today, guys, in the chat. If you're enjoying the stream, remember to hit that follow button up above and see when we're going live again in the future. This is going to be my last stream for about until Thursday or Friday, because tomorrow I fly away. I fly away. Tomorrow I fly away to Turkmenistan. I'm casting the Asian Indoor Martial Arts game, so I'll be live on other channels, which I'll be tweeting about and telling you guys about through sub messages and whatever and Discord. But I will not be live on this channel until Thursday once again. So keep that in mind if you're wondering why I am. I'm away casting StarCraft 2 event. If you ever want to keep up to date with me, obviously my Twitter is @WardiXO. You can also follow me, or you can also join our Discord, !Discord in the chat will give you an invite. You can join the Discord where I post a lot of announcements about what's going on. I chat in there quite a lot as well when I'm away or even when I'm here. So you guys can check that out if you'd like. Gas pool hatch is the opening from soO, a hatch gas pool from Serral. Serral taking a slight build order advantage early. But let's see what soO wants to do. It looks as though he's not going to get too aggressive. Let's see if he does just stick on 19 drones and makes more lings, or if he just wants to go into... Yeah, we'll see if he wants to go into that aggression basically, and mass lings and so on, or whether he just wants to macro. Free workers still on gas, so he will go Bane on nest fairly quickly. Bane nest coming down right now from soO. He's drawing it up still though. On the boardwalk here. One of the rush maps in the tournament. Actually, after this, we'll have played two of the rush maps, Abiogenesis and Battle on the Boardwalk, with God's Garden left to be played. Out of the new maps, we've already seen Arch of Janus and Neon Violet Square. We're yet to see Anomaly being played. It'll be the last game of the series. We got a few macro and standard maps still in the map pool for today as well. Bin nest coming down here from Serral, and again link speed on the way up from both players. A couple of Banes coming into the left hand side, so soO just not really being too cheeky or too aggressive. Just wants to try and apply a little bit of pressure here early because he does have a slightly faster Bane nest, etc. But there's Banes on the way up from Serral as well, and again as the Queens come down to help push this back, he should be able to at the very least buy himself the time he needs to do a little bit of damage here. It's just going to be seen again those couple of Queens. I'm just going to push those Zerglings away. Bane takes a couple more shots. Again, those two Banes of Serral just seeing where they can go. Ling's moving forwards, and 2 for 2. That's okay then. 2 Banes to the side though. soO snuck these by, but Serral has caught onto it, and so he knows what's going down. And he will just start a fight against those Banes. He'll force them to be used. Now he can come back in with this one singular Bane, which actually gets a lot of these drones very low. If Lings were to hit this mineral line right now, it would be kind of deadly. Queens are not properly positioned on this ramp, but soO's actually going to force Serral home. Serral doesn't seem to know what he wants to do for the best right now. Runs a single link forwards. He is just going to pull back. Again, so many of these drones are low, and so if they go down, if Lings get in here at all, they're going to drop very quickly, even though they're starting to regenerate. 3 workers, 4 workers now dropped. And soO has some really good pickoffs so far here. 4 workers killed, and the Queen picking up the final Zergling to completely shut this down. But Serral not able to do much just yet. Got into a bit more Ling Bane of his own, but soO will be the first to place the Rotor on 2 more gases. And without the Evo Chamber or Lair, it is looking to be soO to all in with the Roaches here on map number 10. Looking all in, looking to take the lead in that regard. As we're going to be seeing Banelings, a couple more of them morphing in as well right now. Another Roach round builds up here from Serral in the back. He goes Evo Chamber as well. Okay, soO is actually going to start there in Evo Chamber, so he's not going to all in. He's just going to commit in towards the +1. He's going to play the same sort of game Serral is playing, so the game is going to even out a bit. The game is going to even out a bit. There's two Banelings coming forwards as well now. Bowlings from soO going to jump on top and again just get a pick off. Nice little pick off there by Serral, returning the favour and the lane bane action. soO starts to build up some roaches. Again, his +1 start just about 20 seconds earlier than Serral, so he will be opening some time and windows for himself here in terms of how this game continues on. Roach here gets that link, trying to scout, and again, Serral and soO will kind of match each other up as they continue through this. The Bullings get a Baneling, and this Queen will be getting this one. Well, he's forcing it backwards once again. He's actually going to come in for the Serral. He's going to force Serral to fight with Banes of his own. He is able to defend against this. This Queen going to take another blasting from Baneling now. I'm just going to be seeing Bane still being picked up by soO. He's been doing a good job here. Maybe a good time to bring this Queen back towards the main and like swap Queens over or so. Actually might not be a terrible idea at all. Swap the Queens over because the main base Queen would be a lot safer than the third base Queen here at the moment. A few more roaches coming up. Lings coming forwards, and the Baneling is going to be getting the connection and picking off a whole bunch of those Lings. So that's nicely done, as we are going to be seeing still just a Queen coming in to pick off that Zergling. This might be a 10-minute game. Well, we're past the 5-minute marker. We're already through one of the difficult parts of this. So we're currently massing up roaches to get ready to attack. Now, Serral didn't have a lair for a while, and so Serral will have to play the defender in this scenario, which works out nicely for him because he's already on the worker lead. And he's already making roaches to be able to defend, so this is starting to go quite nicely. This game, number 10. Going to stabilize again. If he breaks through here, maybe he can just sort of get a bit of momentum back and maybe start working this series back into his own favor. Maybe that's how this is going to go. Roaches on either side, but again, Serral is in position to push this back, and he does have +1 of his own, so soO not going to break through right away here. Some nice transfusions coming down as well, give Serral that slight upper hand in the defensive position. And again, there's Roach speed starting, and now we just wait for the +2s to start up, because it really is just a matter of time before we see both players committing into this. A few roaches up top, Serral moving around himself as well. There is that +2 from soO, and again, Serral I don't think will be too far behind, and there it is. So both players knowing exactly what they kind of have to try and get done right now, given the situation of the game. And given the way it's going, and we are indeed going to get into the later stages of this ZvZ. It's not going to end Link Bane. It's not going to end to a Roach attack. It's going to go a little bit later, it seems, which is exactly what we want. Now remember, last time the game went a bit later, it was on Backwater, game number 2 of the series, and it was Serral to pick up the victory there. And we're looking for the same right now to keep this series in contention. In contention? You know, we do not want to just see soO completely running away with this, right? It'd be nice to see Serral keep on fighting, and you see 3 maps behind is kind of rough. It's pretty rough. 4 maps behind becomes impossible, and obviously then 5 maps behind right now for Serral would be series over, even though the rest of the maps will be played. So see this Ravager pop in, and again everything just spreading out a little bit. +2s on the way. Now this is an interesting map in the sense that it's not going to be easy to fight on this map. It's not going to be easy to push through either. We've already seen soO versus Optimus became a split map scenario here on Battle on the Boardwalk back in the group stages, and it went on to be a 25-minute game where the map did mine out at around 25 minutes. So it's going to be interesting in that regard, because again, it's tough to end the game early on this map because it's very easy to just sit defensively and to cover all of your bases, stop armies ever moving through without fighting highly disadvantageous positions. Obviously, if you don't want to fight highly disadvantageous positions, well, there's not much else you can do if there's no harassment potential or anything. So it's kind of weird because it's a rush map that leads into these sort of macro-based games. Obviously, a top right-hand side right now, just sat there waiting. Nice contaminate on Serral's +2. Maybe it does open the +2 attack window of soO just a little bit right now. He's only 14 seconds away from it, so that's actually a pretty huge deal. 14 seconds away against what? This is still 30 seconds off, so I'm still talking about 30 seconds until it finishes here from Serral. Can he buy that much time? Well, immediately these roaches are going to say no. You know, you've got to do something about this right now. He does just cancel the base, probably the right decision for now. I think there was some roaches that were going to get set to kind of burrow through the top side of the map, but now instead Serral sets up defensively from a distance again. He's not going to push into this too much. He wants his opponent to push into him, A, because it'll work out better for him, but B, because he's trying to wait for +2. Right now it's not going well, though, I have to say. Serral is dropping heavily in supply, and soO just has so many units. And maybe it took soO a little while to get kind of warmed up and fired up today, but now he's on a winning streak. He does not seem to be moving away from a winning streak anytime soon. Those roaches of Serral continue to drop, and just a little bit of time here where soO had the +2 advantage, where he had the kind of fight going on, where he was in a good concave and everything was fighting, and Serral was a bit clogged up by his own hatchery choke point. You see Serral is going to be able to push this back, but again, soO's been playing this wonderfully. And now as those roaches burrow again, that's something else here. Serral committed into that burrow and tunneling claws, but he never really got anything out of it, so that's also a bit of a shame. As pushing forwards once more, soO looking to try and again push in for victory at the moment at any second now. Serral's trying to claw his way back. He's actually got a lot of gas and minerals in the bank. There's only minerals really here from soO. He's currently starting up spine crawlers defensively, but maybe it just means that Serral has a bit of a chance to catch back up a little bit in terms of army supply if he spends his money. Going to be seeing a carapace upgrade well on the way for soO, though, and that's something which will again just come into play slightly here in the near future. Gotta give it to soO, man. That contaminate on the +2 attack was absolutely huge, because it brought us to this position where he did create the fight with the +2 advantage against just +1. You see Ravager now morphing in, getting ready to roll. As the ball comes down again, those roaches just setting up 2. Set of barrels will pick off this overload towards the front, and again, still just looking to see what's going to be next. A few more barrels, and again, overload gets picked off. soO maxed out, +2/+1 against just +2. Can he fight into this? Can he find the position to engage? Or he's going to find himself a couple of roaches over here already. Little bits and pieces that will add up. Now he's actually taking the fight to the south side. He's going to try and push in the north, catch his opponent out of position, and he's going to use it as a chance to split his army up and come through 2 directions. So soO starting to push his opponent back, and now soO's got the larger concave, which naturally means more of his units fight at a time. And Serral just can't help but back away into that choke point, because he isn't ready to really fight, because he doesn't have a way to really fight. soO with some great bullying tactics here, essentially, to just push Serral into an unfavorable position. And now Serral doesn't really have a way to answer this any longer. A few more corrosive bars coming down. Those roaches are in trouble. And soO will back away for a few moments, but he's got 22 more roaches in production. This is not slowing down anytime in the near future. Spire on the way up from Serral, but is he really going to get into the Mutalisk number, which is going to help save the day right now? I would highly doubt it, but if he could get, all of his gas into meters and 8 meters up, well, he'll very quickly get rid of the Ravagers, and that could be the start of something in terms of turning this around a bit, so it's a bit of a possibility here. Across the bars going up again, that Overseer once again picked off. Roaches and Ravagers pushing to the left-hand side, and again, just trying to do a little bit more. We'll get a cancel on that hatchery. And again, just going to be seen moving to the left, a drone getting picked off as well. As the muters coming in. And again, right now, there's no anti-air at all. There's queens, but there's no spores. There's nothing with this army, and so the muters will immediately be able to do something about that. Again, if they can pick away the Ravagers, although it might be a bit too late, because we already see this army pushing forwards, and Serral is being pushed back once again. He just, again, does not really have an immediate answer. Muters starting to come on in, working their way through this, but I just don't think Serral has the damage output to properly hold this off. I mean, before the muters clean their, whatever is left up, there's going to be damage done here. There's going to be workers and bases going down. And that's where Serral really does just run out of options in the game. Already drone's going to try and pull away from this, but again, so many of them fallen. This is what, 20 workers killed already? Some corrosive bars here and there, just Serral trying to hold on for a bit longer, but it looks as though we're going to see soO taking a 7-3 lead. And he'll go on to match and tournament point after this game. Match and tournament point, which obviously, again, we will still play the rest of the maps, 5 maps remaining, no matter what. But obviously being on match and tournament point already is very important because there's that extra $250 for finishing first place rather than second. Remember that every map is worth $50 as well. soO winning this will have $350 in the bank against $150 of Serral just from the games played today. And that's not including the money that they win from first and second place. It's not bad. Serral is actually already guaranteed $900 this event. Even if he drops out now, it's definitely been a pretty good performance from him and a decent reward, but I'm sure he'd be a little bit hungry for a bit more at least. I'm very sure he doesn't want to just settle for second, and you know, he's not that kind of player, right? So I'm sure he'll be trying to do, you know, just be a bit more successful right now. As we're going to be seeing these meters from Serral coming through the center of the map and just seeing where they can go. So meters moving around in the center. We're going to see this overlord getting engaged into. Serral able to pick that overlord off right away there. You'll see this overlord 2 from soO is getting taken down. Serral with his meters just trying to pick up what he can to take advantages in the game. A third overlord, for example. That's the sort of thing which really helps out. But it's just not going to help out enough in this given situation, right? soO is currently 51 to 34 workers. The reason he's sitting back is because he's just building up enough Hydras to fight the mutants in a straight-on fight, if it's necessary. And again, for now, he just doesn't quite have that. He needs just a little bit longer to be able to get it set up. Just going forwards. Through him, still doing some bits and pieces of damage. And again, if Serral's going to come back in the game, it would have to be some miraculous play via these mutalists to make it happen. I'm just coming through though, and he's going to start denying those mutants again. Just doing a little bit more damage as well here and there. Back into the main base again. I mean, finding these overlords etc. is nice, but the Hydras are kind of fast enough and moving around enough to respond to this. So that's just Mystical Augments finishes. They should just have a little bit of a better time dealing with it. With that extra little bit of speed they have, it helps out a lot. Mia's just going to come back in towards the third base, still poking away at the gas. And again, at some point soon, soO will just say, okay, cool, you got Mia's harassing me, but you know what? I'm maxed out, and that means I want to fight. And he's just going to march across the map, and he's just going to look to take that fight, because there's no reason for him not to, right? Like, the more he sits around waiting for these mutants, the more he plays into exactly what Serral wants him to play into. And Serral is just spamming roaches, though. In the long term, I guess soO may just want to sit back, because he knows for a fact he has more economy, potentially. And if he knows that, and he feels as though that could just be good enough to win the game, then why risk it going across the map and seeing what he could do? A few more overlords starting to drop. Okay, soO's had enough. He is just going to go over here. Again, you cannot really blame him. As you're going to see this fight going to start breaking out. Serral's made a fair amount of units, but is it going to be able to ever fight through this, especially with the Hydras mixed in? I don't really think so. He's actually down 15 army supply, which is not a lot, but it becomes very apparent, especially in a mirror matchup when you're down behind the supply with not really many defensive units. Like, you know, a TBT 15 supply behind is okay because you've got tanks defensively, but in this scenario, it's not really the same as soO pushing on through. And well, we're going to see him just continue to get that fourth hatchery while the army of Serral attacks. I'm just going to be seeing still the roaches and ravagers. soO continue to fight this, and Serral just running out of numbers. And there's just no real way for him back into this. Mia's are going to deal with the counterattack in the main base as well. Some harassment from soO, who's just not letting up anywhere on the map right now. 170 to 112 supply. 24 more roaches on the way. Could maybe do with just a handful more Hydras once again. Starting to set up into those as we speak. Problem is, Serral just doesn't have the economy to build what he needs to. Look at that income advantage from soO since he went for that large attack initially, and the meters weren't quite out. And again, the army supplies just always kind of been in soO's favor, and it's a very true thing that's just been very good for him to keep him in aggressive spots and keep him in positions where he's able to kind of win this game number 10 and put himself 7-3 up in the best of 15. Can't believe we only have 5 maps left after this. It's kind of crazy. Another Ravager on the way out. A couple more Roaches and a couple of Hydras on the way from soO as well. It's actually just dropping down here from Serral. And a couple of drones getting picked off. Again, so just playing it safe, maxing out before he moves across once more. Still aware, I think, that he has a much larger bank, and knowing with a much larger bank, he can just max out, and it's going to be the safest possible fight for him. Backs away from some Corrosive Biles. This time he'll push through the Corrosive Biles, even if it means taking some damage. Nice little split away towards the end, and nice split back, and then splitting forwards once more. GG is called, and soO really is incomplete. Best of 15 in the sense that, as we're all arguing about in the chat, best of 15 in the sense that, you know, you get first place based on winning the best of 15, but also all maps will be played anyways. So it is best of 15 all maps played. We've had this discussion and debate so much the last month or so. Let's just get over it. God damn it. Alright. Anyways, let's jump into this and see. Our blue Zerg player at the bottom right is Serral. And to the upper left, our pink Zerg is soO. Just because all the maps get played, by the way, 13-12 from soO, just because all the maps get played doesn't necessarily mean it's not a best of 15, you know, because, you know, it's still best of 15, it's just in this series, best of 15 series, we have the condition that all maps play anyway. It's still best of 15, like, the winner is still the player who comes out at 8 maps, like, you know, he's still going to be the winner. It's all maps played anyway, like, we had this debate with best of 2. People are like, best of 2 can't exist because best of 2 is just first to 1. And that's not really true. In a best of 2, you see who's best of 2 maps. And, you know, because if it's best of 2 maps, right, then you can go to 1-1, you know, and that just shows you it's a draw. Like, best of 3 is best of 3 maps. Doesn't necessarily, you know, usually it ends after 2 games, you know, or 2 wins because, you know, the other guy can't win again. But if there's other important features and so a third map needs to be played, it's still part of the best of 3, you know? Anyways, I'm going to be setting up here soO. With some Zerglings going to move on over to the left-hand side. Obviously, this 13-12 aggression is now meeting up against Serral's Hatch Gas pool. soO looking to take the WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament victory on the back of what's carried him so far in this series already. As we do see the feelings just coming down the left side. Setting up, getting ready to go. A few more Zerglings to the upper left. This was, again, committed into Baneland Nest. No expansion coming down. And again, a few Lings just going to nibble away on those unbuildable plates on the low ground. A single Zergling here from Serral looking around. Not really doing too much. Lings of soO. Coming through the center, and let's see if Serral can defend. One Spinecrawler low ground. One Spinecrawler high ground at the moment to set up in towards this. And a few Banes obviously going to lead the charge to see what they can get up to. These drones actually being kept on the low ground too, trying to soak Banelings perhaps. It would be interesting if that was the case. Going to see Queens are not targeting Banes just yet. And the spine on the low ground is starting to go down. Serral has failed to defend this sort of attack once today. Let's see if he can tighten up his game right now. As we're going to see transfuse on each Queen. Serral misses his transfusions. That's huge. You can't afford to miss transfusions in a situation like this because it's, yeah, I mean, you miss transfusions like that, you lose so much time in a kind of a do-and-die sort of defense. He's sort of still alive and he has got Banes up, so it is possible still. It just makes his life so much more difficult. And that Baneling connected on just a Bane to bring it low is not really necessarily going to do enough here. Another Bane finishes up and we'll move down to the low ground. And that's Zergling going to jump on top of that Baneling here, and the Baneling will get taken down as well. Lings here from Serral going to come forwards once more, and again the couple of Lings from soO still running around in circles. I'm just going to be seeing the Spinecrawler going to burrow out the front as well. Lings and a couple of Banes from Serral still setting up into this. I'm just going to be seen again. Lings moving forwards once more. Lings coming in from Serral to help push this back also. Banes from Serral here. We'll just trade for a couple of Banes of soO. If Serral can hold this position, remember he is on 2 bases against 1. And so if you can hold this position right now, this can be a return in the game for him. Oh my god, well that's scary. The Spine Crawler is slowly being worked away at by those Banelings. As I'm just going to see the Spine Crawler will survive now, but he's got another Baneling to get rid of. And oh, the Queen actually helps. soO still making Lings and Bane. Nice little catches here, and a couple of Queens working their way for an Overlord as well, so you can't really afford to lose an Overlord. He's only on 13 workers against 19, and again, Serral continuing to defend, is looking to take game number 11 and to stop soO from moving further forward in this series. GG's, soO didn't even try to bust through any further. Serral makes the hold. Let's see if Serral can continue to bring us hopes and dreams of, well, just not being a stomp, I guess. 7-4 is the scoreline. He's now up to $200 earned just through maps won in this finals. It's our Red Zerg from NC Sports. It's Serral. To top left hand side, our pink Zerg is going to be soO. Enjoying the stream dance game. I would hope you're somewhat enjoying the stream, otherwise it wouldn't be good that you guys are here to watch it if you're not enjoying, you know? I wouldn't want to keep you here and you guys have a bad time. Am I from the northeast? Yes, I am. Can we change one player's colour? Sorry, I'm really bad with getting people to switch colours and to keep colours and stuff, so I do apologise when they change and it gets a bit awkward and stuff. Alright. Hatch gas pool from both on Neotropicana in horizontal spawns, which are a bit more aggressive, so we'll probably see a lot of roach-based play here on this map. That's what I would generally expect at the very least. Let's see how this goes. See how this goes. Hatch on the way up on either side. I'm just setting up into this. 7-4 right now for soO. If Serral wins this one, then I do start to get a little bit worried about soO. Can he throw this away? That would be kind of crazy. Can you imagine soO doesn't win this? He gets second place in another event? After being 7-3 up? God, that'd be bad. That'd be really heartbreaking, wouldn't it? That'd actually be kind of crazy. Link speed on the way from both players here. And again, so far, just mirroring each other in the early stages. Is red and pink okay, guys? Is it blue and pink that you can't tell the difference between? If red and pink is okay, then we can do that. If blue and pink is the issue, then we can obviously just so I know what to make them change and what not to. Just let me know if red and pink's okay versus blue and pink. Link gets picked off. Red and pink is better than blue and pink. Okay, okay. We'll see how bad it is. Just going to see Bayonets coming down from both. So setting on up, third hatchery coming down too. Still mirroring each other in the first 3 minutes or so of the game. Really nothing to change them. Don't to tell them apart just yet. Very similar play so far. Two links through the south side. We do see a whole bunch more Zerglings on the way up on either side. So, again, we sort of talked about this earlier in the kind of the free-based play. The kind of offensive Ling Bane against offensive Ling Bane. Just to help you defend against you, defend your third base by being aggressive. I like this. soO tucking his Banelings away in the corner so that, well, Serral just isn't going to see them. Well, Serral actually sees these Lings coming through top sides. He's not going to be too far away, but maybe distracted. Oh no, Serral is a bit out of position still. As those Banes getting set to come up the natural. Oh, he sees it now, so Serral can respond. Pulling his units back, and obviously, it's going to be messy because those Banes are still in a pretty good spot altogether to get the Lings as they run on forwards here. And we're seeing one Bane going down right there, and, well, a Bane from Serral actually gets a good connection on the low ground. soO is heavily committed in terms of worker lead. He's actually 25 to 29 workers, so it's a little bit of a powerful position right now for soO. For Serral, actually. He's on a big worker lead, and well, not a big one, but a slight one. And if he holds, he will just have that slight advantage. So far, resource loss is slightly favorable for soO. You can see that Serral has been, well, he should be in the lead in worker in income, but I guess obviously he had to pull some workers away, which picks away at him a little bit. You see 1 and 2 Banes going down this side, so 2 Banes for 2, and he will trade 2 Banes for 2 up here as well, continuing to defend. Roach Rowan from soO, who shows us that his plan right now is to go into a more aggressive game still, and continue to trade here as aggressively as possible. A couple of Lings jumping onto that Bane lane, doesn't quite get it. Queen will want to try and target that down. He will get the kill before it becomes an issue. Queen, not quite saved. One last Zerg gets a hit. Oh man, Roachron would have been really nice to keep alive here from Swankler would have been really nice to keep alive here from Serral, because he doesn't know just yet that soO has the money and the Roachron coming up, I don't think, to actually go into those roaches. And all these Lings moving south side, though, they're maybe going to set up a counterattack. And Serral actually setting up a couple of Banes already to move forwards with this. He's going to come up this ramp. He's going to see those Lings, and he uses Banes morphing. He's going to set a couple of Lings onto them. Will not cancel them. Gets 2 drone kills. And he'll now just back away into his own Banes that are morphing in here, which are going to finish up. Serral just staying aggressive. Now with his own Roachron coming up as well. soO never actually made his own Roaches yet. So Serral looking as though he might just about be okay in all of this. Still holding a 6-worker lead in the game. soO 33 to 16 at now 18 army supply, because he just started up a set of Roaches. But Serral again can maybe start thinking of doing the same, as the Baneling will hit this mineral line. Or he can just walk it up into the main. I guess he's just going to use it to scout. One Baneling, I guess, isn't going to do much if there's no follow-up to it. You'll see this Baneling here is not going to do too much either. He will get another Queen kill though, and again, losing these Queens for Serral time and time again is starting to hurt. And again, Serral right now is continuing to drone up because he doesn't know about these Roaches coming across the map. And if he doesn't know about these Roaches coming across the map, then soO might just pick up this tournament victory right away in the next few moments. Serral is supply blocked as well. A horrific time to be supply blocked, as these Roaches are just about to start arriving. Serral just can't make anything to defend. A few more Roaches on the way up. Only 1 Spine Crawler being built. I'd love to see him build 2 more, but are they even going to be ready in time? Like even this first one, I don't think is going to be ready in time here to really defend this. Drones will have to pull on in, but he's going to have to get rid of that Baneling first. Because if he doesn't get rid of the Baneling, he's already going to be an issue. A Roach gets caught out as well. Serral is not going to have an answer right now. He doesn't see him. soO is pushing in, and well, as Roaches pop, they're going to get picked off one at a time before they can join up together, and that's a big issue here for Serral as well. It's just one of the reasons he's going to struggle to keep on fighting, as he's going to pull his drones in to keep on trying to defend. Bane or 2 coming in as well to splash on down, but his army supply is dropping. soO has enough, and soO is going to be able to close out this series 8 games to 4. Remember that the last 3 maps will still be played though. The last 3 maps will still be played. GG from Serral. soO takes game number 12. So, top right hand side, our pink Zerg player opening hatch gas pool here, as both will on Octane. It's soO, the champion of the WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament. The reason we will cast the final 3 maps is there is $50 additional prize per map won. So soO is already leaving with $1,000 because he is now officially the victor, having taken 8 maps in the best of 15. The final 3 maps will be played, and he will get $50 extra per map that he still wins from here, which means that if he wins the rest of the 3, he'll have 11 maps won, and that's going to be $550 extra, while Serral will take home $200 on top of his $750 second place prize. That's how this is going to work. So, as we set on up into game number 13, let's see what's going to happen as we set up into this game. Bottom left is from NC Sports. Unfortunately, will not be the victor of the tournament, but has already shown us some good fights, and maybe can show us a couple more in the last couple of maps. And we have Serral, our red Zerg player, to the bottom left-hand side. You guys getting excited? You guys are excited about the show match at the end here, are you? Okay, okay. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm not going to tell you who's going to play until we get in game. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be on Blackpink, the one map that doesn't get played through the finals. I would stick around for it. It's a match which I've casted once before, and it was like one of the best matchups I've ever casted, so I'm kind of excited for the rematch. I'm kind of excited for the rematch. Link speed on the way up from both, and a Baneling nest coming up from both as well. And the hatchery coming down from Serral on the 3rd base. Just looking to expand, as will soO, and mirroring each other once again here in the early stages of Octane. A map by Mavis. One we've seen some pretty cool games on throughout the tournament. We haven't really seen a lot of games using this upper left-hand and bottom right-hand side, but we saw an island base being taken by Optimus when using a base trade against Hero. There's some pretty crazy scenarios that have happened on Octane. It's been fun. Ling's moving around as well. Here from soO, just pulling back as a single Ling from Serral wants to scout and try and figure out what's going on. soO's actually making quite a lot of Ling Bane at the moment. Serral sneaking ahead in the work account, but obviously still has to defend here to make sure he doesn't fall too far behind or anything. You can see those Lings coming in to get us around. A couple of Lings going down, and there's Baneling from Serral as well, looking to see what else might happen. Baneling does blow up. We're going to be seeing the two of these Banelings from soO also coming in and also getting set up and ready to roll. So again, you're going to see these Banes continue to move around, one or two Banes getting picked off here and there. And again, Zergling's just starting to surround on this third hatchery. So, damage being done. soO's doing well, but now that Serral has Banes up of his own, he's going to be able to push this back and to keep this safe. (29 to 33 workers). As we're still going to be setting up in towards this and just seeing again what the next sort of stage of this is going to be. Just going to be seeing some Lings coming up to the top side again, running around here and seeing what they can get up to. And again, soO's still trying to be aggressive as he has only 32 workers in the game. As he adds another gas, and he has the Rotron coming up. Well, actually, Serral's in a similar situation, although Serral has an Evo chamber. But he is looking to go into Roaches here potentially soon. soO, again, doesn't have an Evo chamber. Is he just looking to make Roaches, or what is his plan here? What's his plan going to be? There on the way up as well from Serral, +1 missile attack upgrade coming through for the Evo chamber as well. And again, a couple of these extractors just continue coming on either side. soO is just making Roaches, so he is just going to commit to this, but I don't know how well it's going to go. Because I kind of feel as though Serral's setting up nicely, like his +1's well on the way. Okay, he's building a lair, etc., but he has the money to build Roaches. He starts up a few more drones. Serral's just having trouble identifying these Roach attacks early enough to be prepared all the time. He's going to see this now, and now he will just go into pure Roach production. It's a bit too late. A couple of Spine Crawlers do begin to start on up. Does begin to start on up, and it's going to be seeing the Lings and Banes from soO will be able to, well, get ready to go as well. I mean, obviously they're going to join the Roaches to just throw everything at Serral and try and bust through here. One Bane gets sniped to the right-hand side, though. Serral already defending. Remember, there's still $50 per map. It's quite a lot, you know. Usually you play, like, online tournaments, and the victory is, like, $75. You know, to play kind of for, like, $50 per map right now is obviously a little bit crazy. A nice Bane connection there. A lot of Lings going down. As these couple of Spine Crawlers do finish up, we're just going to be seeing the Roaches of soO. I just don't think he breaks through here. And especially now, because +1 missile attack is about to finish, I just don't see how he actually puts this Roach attack to use to actually win this game. Roaches and Ravager are going to come in from the right-hand side. A couple of Banes going down, and, well, let's see what happens. He's going to try and fight out of range of the Spine Crawlers, but it's just not really happening. This looks a lot like how it did on Eastwatch. Serral just getting into a position where he can defend very easily, and that's exactly what's happening now. As you're going to see those Roaches of Serral chasing forwards, and we are going to be seeing Roach after Roach after Roach being picked away at. Serral going to be able to well, continue his way through that. GG. And Serral takes map number 13 to put it to an 8-5 scoreline. He's now got... Let's go into this. To the bottom left-hand side, we kick it off with our two players. It is going to be to the lower left, a Red Zerg on 5 maps won so far. It's NC Sports Serral. And to the upper right, the pink Zerg is soO. My original score call was 10-5 in favor of soO. So if he wins 2 maps now, then we all know that I'm just the prediction god. Otherwise, yeah, just Serral's going to be putting up a really good fight. If this ends something like 8-7 or 9-6. I think I'd be kind of impressed, honestly. 6-9 score still possible, says Just Me. It is. It is indeed. Yeah, let's see some Wardy Dogs in the chat for God's renamed Dog's Garden for this event. Why was 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. What a joke. Love that joke. Alright, hatchery first from both on one of the rush maps. We've actually gone through the macro and standard maps. They're all done. We have a rush map now, and then anomaly will be in the new section of the maps. So that will be coming up next to wrap us up for soO vs Serral. Prior to our special final game of the day on Blackpink, we're going to have a special little match on there to show you guys the the final map in the contest that hasn't been played so far today. Hatchery piece is finishing up. Queen's on the way down. Early game, very standard so far. Lots of dogs in the chat, loving it, loving it. Even though it's not really called Dog's Garden. Again, there was an issue basically when they uploaded this map the first time. They then fixed something, and when they went to re-upload it, it didn't allow them to re-upload it as God's Garden. And so instead they just changed it to Dog's Garden as the upload. But God's Garden is the official name of the map by Ezel. As we do see that Bane and Nest coming on down here from soO in the natural expansion. A couple of Banes of Serral's nibbling his way. So a couple of Lings of Serral nibbling his way through those unbuildable plates. And we are going to see this drone from Serral just coming through to a third hatch. And soO going to be looking for the same. So again, a fairly small map here in terms of natural to natural. It's a rush-based map, and yet here we are going into this weird sort of ZvZ free hatch apiece. We'll see how aggressive the Ling Bane gets though, and we'll see what else happens. Couple of drones on the way out. There's a couple of drones on the way out right now, and again, just setting up to see how this goes. Link Sweet going to be finishing in just a few moments, and again, a couple of Lings down the right. And you can see what else happens there. It's actually a couple of Lings going to morph into Banes right away. Hatchery in the bottom right hand side, starting to morph on in. Some Banes from Serral actually on the way through as well. It'll be interesting to see how they develop here in the next few moments, as you're going to be seeing Zerglings of soO coming forwards and helping to just push that back. Seeing a couple of Banes going off for a couple of Banes right away there as well. And again, as more Zerglings running from Serral, we're just going to be seeing soO pushed away up through this upper side. So soO gets pushed away through up the upper side, and just going to be seeing again Lair from soO still on the way out as well. So that's still coming on up here. Evo Chamber from Serral as well now coming into play as well. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of Banes finishing, and a couple more Banes of soO also starting up. Still these Lings of Serral moving around and seeing just what opportunities they can grab in the next few moments. Man, Faster Lair, we haven't really seen a Faster Lair today, and I wonder what he does with it. Is he going to go Spy, or is he just going to go for a Knight? There's a Serral! A couple of Banes in the mineral line. Doesn't do too much though, only 3 workers killed. Serral does scout also the Lair coming up though, so Serral have an idea of what's happening right now, and Evo Chamber starts his own +1. Actually, soO just going to go into Roach Roar and Evo Chamber. No left from Serral, so he doesn't look as though he wants to go into Roach speed yet. But we'll look to play Roaches as the game goes by. Guys, it is a best of 15, because I know you all really want to fucking disagree with me on this. But it is a best of 15, because the winner of the best of 15 is the winner of the tournament. It's just all maps are also played. Which is still best of 15, because we still see who's best of 15, just we still have a reason to play maps after the original best of 15 would usually end, because there's an extra incentive. So it isn't just 15 maps played, because if there was 15 maps played, then soO wouldn't have won the tournament at 8-5. You know? It's 15, it's best of, can we just call it best of 15? It literally makes sense, until you guys don't want it to make sense. This conversation really triggers me, actually. It really triggers me. I don't think I've gotten so heated up in Twitch chat as I have about best of 15s and best of 2s and the discussions that arise from them. The last month or so, we've had a lot of best of 2s and like weird best ofs, and it's really created some very interesting situations, hasn't it? You guys weren't complaining about it being called best of threes when we were playing all 3 maps in the group stages. Now everyone's like, you can't call it best of 15. God damn it. I mean, sure, it's also 15 maps played, but it's, I don't know. Maybe I should just not care. Maybe I should care less. Maybe I'm the one that's getting more triggered than anyone else. Maybe it just really doesn't matter what we call it. Spire on the way down from soO, but also from Serral a little bit later on as both go roach speed and into the +1 missile attack. So it's going to be both of them going roaches in towards a potential meter switch here. So that will be interesting to see how it plays out. soO is on a little bit extra gas. A lot of it kind of depends on just how many roaches come out from either side, of course. If you can force more roaches out your opponent, there's less money he has to spend on the mutalisks. Which should be kind of neat. Setting on up, waiting to get rolling. Just going to be seeing these roaches of Serral kind of pushing up through this front, and again soO have a few lings and roaches as well. Looking to see what they can get up to in the next few moments here. +1 fly attack on the way, and we're going to be seeing 9 meters on the way out from soO. Serral just doesn't really have the gas banked up to make a lot of meters of his own. As we continue to get this rolling. A spore crawler coming down though. So I think Serral, did he figure this out? Does he see the Spire? He has seen the Spire. Did soO see the Spire of his opponent? I assume not, otherwise he would go into Carapace upgrade like Serral does. Because in Muta versus Muta, the Carapace upgrade has a much better effect because of the way the bouncing glaives work from those mutalisks. Anyways, we're just going to be seeing the meters continue to fly around, picking off an Overlord or 2 so far. We're just going to be seeing the spore crawler coming down with the roaches joined in around it. And again, just going to see these lings continuing up the left-hand side. Lings and roaches coming on in from soO, and they will actually clean up a lot of those lings right away. Now Serral with 12 meters of his own on the way out, so he is actually going to get 12 meters up here. soO actually cancelled his +1 flyer attack. Obviously didn't feel the need to go into it, but this is going to be interesting then. Ooh, he's actually going to go Hydras. This is kind of intriguing. It's going to be seeing lings and roaches. Continue to set up here. Hydras on the way up as well, and we still just see these mutalisks from soO continue to move around and see what they can get up to. But again, Serral is starting to gather together, and well, it'll be interesting. If he can win the muta fight and then he wins the kind of fight against Hydras, it could get really intriguing. Obviously no missile attack upgrades to kind of help against the Hydras, but well, the Carapace will still help him win the fight in the skies and then lead into maybe some extra help on the ground. Interesting position now. Serral is still massing mutas. Maybe he doesn't think that soO has stopped massing mutas. Maybe he just really wants to win that badly. I guess we'll find out in the next few moments. Again, Ling's coming up towards the upper right-hand side. We do see roaches and Hydras continue to move through the center of the map here. Muta's going over to the left. And we are just going to be seeing Serral. Going to see what he can do. He's going to come in. He's actually going to try and fight some of those Hydras. Try and pick them off before the entire army fights at the same time. Oh! Oh, Serral! What a play! He just knocks the rock tower down. He's going to knock these roaches in half with the rest of the Hydras just left in the back. Mutas are going to fight Mutas here. A lot of the Mutas actually not joining the fight for Serral, though. Needs to target those Mutas down specifically. What a play by Serral. Knocking those cooling towers down. Kaboom. And suddenly the rocks block off there. That was pretty neat by Serral like that. Meanwhile, he counterattacks and kills 12 workers. Serral's making some cool things happen at the moment. The count from Serral is still up at 26 against 8 on the map from soO. You're going to see him coming in, and he will just very easily kind of win this fight against the Mutas. It's the Hydras on the ground that are becoming a bit of an issue as well, of course, because they will shred their way through mutalisks. Bane's on the way up, though. Bane speed's only halfway done, but if he can just get these Banes to hit into these Hydras, then it would be fantastic. Well, it would be fantastic for the Bane, you know, it would be fantastic because if he gets rid of just a few Hydras, these mutas are just going to have such a better time than they would otherwise. Here we go, the Banes just don't have that Bane speed just yet though, which is kind of the issue. Hydra's going to try and kite back as the mutas will come on in, the Roaches as well here. Again, if every Hydra goes down, the Roaches will eventually die to the Mutalisks. That's the play by Serral right now, but I feel like he's lost a lot setting up in towards this. What's left over? 15 meters is okay. Again, he will kill these Roaches. Can he kill them fast enough to minimize the damage that they get done here on this side of the map? We're going to be seeing for now. It looks as though he might be able to. The Roaches are continuing to drop, and as the Roaches do continue to die, and we've seen again a lot of those Roaches getting picked off here. And again, now Serral will take a supply lead because it's very deceiving, because initially there's a supply lead goes to soO, and that's because he still has a lot of Roaches alive. But if Serral can again clean up with the mutas, then all of a sudden he will take a supply lead, especially because Roaches are so supply heavy. It very quickly kind of changes faith, and now we're going to see soO is actually massing up Hydras as Serral starts to mass up Roaches on the ground as well, so his fighting army, Serral, on the ground is going to become a bit better as well. Just going to be seeing the Hydras again picking away at a couple of these mutas here. Going to get those cooling tower low to maybe kind of block off an entranceway. Maybe try and block off some mutas if they try and move through once again. Serral looking to take this to the 15th game with a possibility of still tying it, still putting down an 8-7 scoreline. Just going to be seeing the the mutas just kind of pulling away to the left-hand side still. Just pulling away a little bit further. Really cool use of the rock, something we were yet to ever see on this map. We've not seen anyone kill these cooling towers in any of the games, if I'm remembering correctly. Lurkers coming up now here to try and help on the ground. A couple of them getting picked off, or... well, yeah, again picked off. They get cancelled from morphing in. That counts as a pick off. Bane's here ready to fight once again. You get rid of those Hydras, the Lurkers and Ravagers and Roaches will die to the Mutalisks. So let's see how this goes as Serral sets up towards the front. Does he have an Overseer? He really needs an Overseer to be able to deal with the Lurkers. If he doesn't have an Overseer, it's a little bit problematic. These Banes have to split up a little bit right now as here we go, attacking forwards. Oh my god, the Bane's taking so much damage from those Lurkers. Again, he really needs an Overseer, man. Those Banes got absolutely destroyed by Lurker Fire just there. That was crazy. Some spores on the way up from soO, realizing he has to play defensively. Thing is, Serral isn't committing further into mutas, so over time his own army is getting to that point where it can engage and fight against soO's. A little bit better on the ground alone. But also in this kind of interesting position though, where it's soO is they're both going infestation, but I wonder if Serral just feels the need to go in towards Hive Tech to deal with the Lurkers now. Just to have a way to kind of abduct the Vipers to kind of bring them forwards and so on. Could be pretty intriguing. It's just moving around here, and we are going to see these Roaches going to come up to the upper right hand side. You're going to see this right hand pathway being used. We haven't seen it being used a lot. It's going to be used right now. Hive on the way up from both. And we're still just going to be seeing the hatchery on the way in the upper right hand side. It's going to get found and denied though, and that's going to be one of the issues here perhaps for soO, actually moving into extra bases now, because right at the moment he's actually kind of reliant on static Lurkers and static Spore Crawlers to be able to defend. And so if that, if that is no longer the case, if he has to move out, well, if he has to move out further, then static defenses are not going to be as useful. Nice pickoffs here. Can extract it into a Queen, now a spawning pool as well. Some nice pickoffs by Serral, just making the most of his units. Does not want to risk a Mutalisk for that spawning pool, even on 9 hit points. Not worth the risk of losing a few, but he does actually get caught here. This drone going to go down as well. Not really anywhere I can hide. And again, soO currently unable to take a 5th base. Serral on 5 bases though, because he holds the map control. He's actually got a wall of spine crawlers outside this base also to help him out. Serral's actually pretty good in terms of knowing this map later in the game, because he played a very long game on this map against Gumiho yesterday. And that little bit of experience will definitely help him slightly in terms of what he can expect throughout. Vipers on the way. Vipers from soO coming up for parasitic bombs perhaps, or just abducts in general even on the mutas still. Obviously Vipers from Serral coming up to go in towards the abducts on those Lurkers. There's a couple of different reasons from either side to set up into this, as we're going to see these mutas moving forward. It's going to start working their way through this hatchery in the upper left hand side. And again, just going to see Roaches and Hydras still gathering themselves together. Roaches, Ravagers from Serral to the far right, and both of these players getting into kind of a bit of a bank right now. God's Garden currently turning out to be fairly interesting. That cooling tower built, by the way, is still yet to be killed. We'll see if that's something Serral looks to utilize again. Serral even has this bottom left-hand base coming down. Top right from soO looks as though it might be able to get up here. We'll see if Serral... He's too far out of position for the Muse to deny it, really. Anyway, there's a big attack from soO coming over the left-hand side. Is there any Banes anymore from Serral? No, he's just going to play Roach Ravaging against the Roach Hydra. The Ravagers sort of take the role of the Hydras. Rather than being able to hit upwards, though, they do have that Corrosive Bile ability, which I think is a bit better on ground-to-ground armies in general. It's nice to have a few Ravagers mixed in. There's quite a lot of Ravagers from Serral here. Vipers looking to see what they can find. The Muse are still across the map, which means that, if this is the entire army of soO, then Serral is going to be down and missing a little bit of army supply to fight this. He's looking for the Vipers to abduct those Lurkers to minimize the splash damage being dealt. He does get all of them, so the Lurkers will fall. There's not really a lot of Roaches here. If he gets through these initial Roaches, those Hydras are just going to absolutely melt. Meanwhile, the Mutas are getting to work over on this side of the map, and Workers are falling for soO at the moment. I think Serral's taking a very good fight. Those Spine Crawlers are something that I just don't really understand why soO ever thought was a good idea to fight into. And again, now only really Hydras here. They're going to die so quickly. A few more Corrosive Biles coming down. And not to mention, soO obviously is losing a lot of economy because of all these Workers he's lost to the Mutalisks, which have been doing a fantastic job and which are now picking off Reinforcing Hydralisks. 27 more Hydras on the way from soO. I'm not sure if the pure Hydra alone is going to cut it here, though. And I think Serral might be able to take this... Serral might be able to take this game number 14. And he might still get himself an 8-7 scoreline. How crazy would that be? Roaches and Hydras will continue their way through these rocks. Lurkers on the way up once again from soO. Will make the ground army fight a little bit more difficult here, especially... How many Vipers is there from Serral? Not many. He grabs a Lurker already, though. That's nice to start off with. Oh, the Mutas... Oh, no, it's actually Roaches finding Lurkers in the back. He's going to be able to kill that one. Actually got the damage done just after it morphed in, which is huge. The Mutas in lower numbers now, as we're going to be seeing, again, looking for the Abducts here on the Vipers, but he doesn't really find them, and the Roaches in the back get demolished. soO kind of has this one army and not much behind this. His bank is gone, but it's starting to work out for him. And if he is able to just clean out Serral's army with this one army, well then the job is done. Serral has a +3 missile attack upgrade as well, by the way, over the +2 of his opponent. These Roaches are just going to counterattack, but there's another Lurker. And he's just still trying to get more eco damage, but he still needs to find a way to fight against his opponent's actual army composition. Because if he can't clean out this army of soO, then what does it matter? Does Serral still have Vipers? He still has 3 of them. It's again just finding a way to get rid of the Lurkers, because right now the Lurkers are becoming a massive issue in this game. A massive issue in this game. We're going to be seeing the Roach nibbling its way through this extractor. Bottom left-hand side cleaned out. Serral still has this base over here, but now his eco lead is not going to be as important as he is going to try and find a way to fight in here. There's the Abducts. Bunch of Lurkers going down, and, well, pure Hydralisk is not really going to cut it, I don't think. That one single Lurker that's left over goes down, and now soO is going to run out of options. Serral is going to take game number 14. We are going to game 15 with the chance of Serral making this a 7-8 scoreline. To the other right-hand side, our pink Zerg player looking to try and grab just more. A little bit more. $50 is the final $50 up for grab here. This has not been bad from either player, soO obviously first place gets $1,000 plus so far $400 for the 8 maps he's won. That's $1,400. Serral though, $750 for second, 6 maps now won. It's $300 more. Serral is sitting on $1,050, so definitely not a bad performance from either. And it's great to see that the series got so close. Top right is soO, our pink Zerg as we open Hatch Gas Pool here on Anomaly. Bottom left is Serral from ENCE Esports, also opening Hatch Gas Pool. Now guys, again we do have Blackpink, the one map that was excluded from the best of 15 grand finals. We have a special match on Blackpink coming up. If you guys are excited for that, then well, I want to hear who you guys think is going to be playing. Just a single game on Blackpink, just to give it some love here on the final day, because it was excluded from the competition. The reason it was excluded is because we actually had It was one of the maps that had been played the most throughout the tournament, and there was 3 macro maps that had been played the same amount at the most played throughout the tournament, and 2 of them belonged to Avex, and so I asked Avex which one he would prefer to see an extra game on, and he preferred to see it on Backwater. So we will see the extra show match though on the on Blackpink is going to happen, and that's going to be coming up after this game. Again, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. If you're really enjoying, you can subscribe, donate, and cheer to support the channel. We're still just 11 subs away from 300, which is pretty sweet. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. It's been non-stop. I can't quite believe we're at the end of the week, honestly, so far. I feel as though it's, I don't know, it's passed quickly, you know? It feels as though just recently we were, it really feels as though, like, just recently we were, what, like, cast in Group A? It really doesn't feel like a week ago. Primal Lab coming in for the GS60, thank you very much, do appreciate. As you do see, the link is just taking a bit of a fight here, as Serral already putting down his third hatchery. soO, just no third hatch just yet, going straight into a lair. So soO may just change things up here for the final game of the day. Maybe he goes for like a Nidus all-in or something. Maybe he just rushes out into Mutalisk, because we haven't really seen a lot of Mutalisk play here on Anomaly. Would be kind of cool to see it. 6-9 to save esports. Be I think at this point, like, any scoreline is still kind of crazy, right? Serral was able to take what, like 7 maps against soO. It's pretty insane. It really shows he's like on top of his game. If soO takes 9-6, I mean Serral's still proving himself here today. But then you guys get to spam 69 memes. So whatever happens, we're all winners, no matter the scoreline. As we're going to be seeing these things running in from soO into the main. Having a little bit of a look to see what is going to happen. Alright guys, so a couple of things here from Serral is going to be again picked off. We're going to be seeing soO just with these things as well, looking to see what else is happening. As you're going to see, the Spire is going to be the play right now. So did Serral get the scout on that Spire and Lair? He saw the Lair, didn't necessarily see the Spire, but obviously there's only a couple of things you can have with a Lair that quickly. One of them is going to be the Spire, the other is going to be something along the lines of a, one of them is going to be the Spire, the other will be along the lines of a Nidus. He doesn't really see much to indicate a Nidus though. Trying to scout once again, building a Rotron, a few more drones, and now the Lair as well. Serral just setting up against this. Feelings here from Serral as well moving through. I'm just going to be seeing the Ling. A couple of Lings moving up to the high ground. And Serral again with a few more Zerglings just sat up this ramp. Looking to see what else is going to happen. A Bane morphing in as well. He's safe though. His own lair coming up, his +1 coming through. We'll just have to see how he's going to try and play against the Mutalisk style here on Anomaly. Isn't it crazy? Like, we get all the way to Anomaly now. It's funny, the last few games have actually been a bit longer and a bit more macro focused than all of the all-ins we've been seeing in the earlier maps today. It's funny just to see some of these longer games coming on through at the very end. Ling's grabbing a couple of kills there, a little bit of a lag spike coming through. Just going to be seeing Serral as well to the right hand side of an Overlord. We're going to see Infestation Pit on the way up from Serral here too now. And he's just going to start getting into a position where he can deal with mutas in some way. Infestation Pit deals with it because if you have Infests and Ravagers, a fungal growth bile combination is going to be pretty awesome, of course. And now we see the Rotron and Evo Chamber from soO as he goes, begins to get his own sort of ground army building up here to follow up from his Mutalisk harassment, which is designed to kind of put him into a lead and make up for the fact that he's going to be later on the +1 and the Roaches. And, obviously, again, the idea is that you do enough damage to get in a better position, even though you delayed that +1 and Roaches, etc. initially. So we'll see what the Mutas can do. So far, just some Overlords. Going to find themselves another right there. So that Overlord also gets taken down. I'm going to be seeing these two Hydralisk dens coming down at the same time from both. Mutas into Lurkers has become a very popular kind of player style lately in the ZvZ, and it's maybe what soO will aim for here, while Serral going into that +2 missile attack. His Hydrogen coming up is probably just going to look to build into an army, which isn't going to revolve around Lurkers just yet. We'll see how it goes. Still just building up Roaches. We actually have the Infestors out just yet, didn't build them. They'll just be playing fairly defensively, I guess, and just looking to utilize queens and spores as a way to stay alive against these mutas for now. He actually does have the queens coming up into the main to help push this away. And he left a couple of queens down on the low ground with the spore crawler to also help defend over here. This extractor will take some damage, and okay, it might go down, but there's a transfuse available. And something which Serral could use if he feels it necessary. Fourth base on the way up from soO. Obviously, again, as the muta player, you have the map control and you have the ability to take expansions just a little bit more quickly. And a few lings up to the top side. We are going to see that overseer from Serral poking into the main to have a little bit of a look just to see what else is going on. Overseer gets taken down, and again, we're going to be seeing those mutas continue to pick that off. And again, a lot of hydras on the way up. A +1 missile upgrade, about to finish here from soO. Burrow coming through from Serral. Obviously wants those infestors to get under the ground to stay nice and safe. A little bit safe, a little bit easier to hit those fungals, of course. Hive on the way up as well now. And obviously that's a way for him to deal with potentially the lurkers on the way up, which he might just be expecting at this stage. Roach is coming through. There's actually already a fungal growth to help these queens out and fighting these mutalisks. Nice transfusions. And as all of these Zerglings go down, the mutas will be picked off here. Serral. Does Serral just counterattack and win this game? He's got quite a supply advantage for a moment or so here. The issue for Serral is he's also investing into so many bits and pieces, and his infestors don't have that any more energy, so they would be kind of dead weight at the moment. But killing the mutalisks is very important too, because it now enables him to take a 4th base. He doesn't have to worry about that pressure and that harassment anymore. He can just fully focus on building up his ground army, which is going to have a +2 missile upgrade advantage. Yeah, I like it. I mean, Serral might just go with the Vipers coming out of the hive. You might just go with a few of those, and you might just make this push to try and end the game, and to try and make the final scoreline of this event 8-7 in the grand finals. Roaches and Hydra still gathering up towards the center here. A lot of roaches and a few lurkers from soO coming up to the top side as well. One of the awkward things about this map is maybe moving across some of these bridges. Don't think either player wants to do that just yet, and so they might have to, move around like this a bit more. Serral is actually going to make a dive across now. Or is he? We're going to see this bridge being opened up as well. Those rocks being taken down. soO not going to be able to push through just yet, though. A wall of spine crawls coming up from Serral. And maybe Serral just tries to play late game. And I mean super late game when I say late game, obviously, with the way this is going right now. No +3 missile attack from Serral, despite the fact his hive is done. His Viper count is starting to increase. He's got 2 on the map, with a 3rd joining him shortly. And this Serral coming, soO coming through the south side. Try and do a little bit more here. Roaches and Hydra's going to work their way. A spine crawler going down. Nice abduct. First couple of lurkers don't really do much at all. These couple of spines not really slowing soO down either. And I see those lurkers trying to reposition once more. Serral backs all the way across towards his 3rd natural. Obviously, will have to come back around the top to protect his 4th. And actually see he's already just been up here defending against some sort of harassment in that position. Viper's getting a bit more energy up again, looking for those abducts on the lurkers. A couple of queens going down, and Serral now going to try and take this fight. It's just before +2, so if he gets rid of the lurkers, he should have a natural kind of advantage in this. He grabs a nice fungal growth and start to make the most of that. He's got more fungals available. Those infestors not being used just yet, though. Problem is these lurkers are continuing to shell away on his army, and he just can't find enough to fully shut this down just yet. 4th hatchet goes down from Serral. Not the end of the world right now, as we're just going to be seeing these roaches and hydras continue to set on up. Continue to set on up. Lurkers as well coming through the south side. Coming back towards the center. And everything from soO maybe going to try and push through and really pressure Serral into doing something. Because again, those lurkers cannot really be allowed to do what they want to do. Nice fungals on the ramp though. That's going to stop a lot of these hydras from pushing forwards. And Serral will be able to make a fight out of this in the end. Even if he doesn't abduct those lurkers to Burrow. Although he needs to. His army's clumped up. There it is. Abducts to Burrow and to minimize further damage taken. Serral supply lead after that. 111 army supply to 80, but he does have to rebuild into a 4th hatchery. So that army supply lead is not going to last forever because he is on much less eco. And that is a way in which soO will start to come back in the game. Vipers starting to consume on this hive now. Again, just getting their energy back for future fights. Serral still has the extra little bits of tools in this army. The Vipers to abduct lurkers, the fungal growths as well. As we're going to be seeing the Roaches, Hydras, Ravages, Vipers in the sky, setting up and getting ready to continue fighting. And you're seeing the Roaches and Units just fighting here once again as soO tries to push on forwards. Remember, Serral and less workers will have a larger army supply at max, and as he abducts one of those lurkers forwards, he has to back away now because he's missing an overseer. Oh no, he's got another one. Okay, he's got more. He was just holding them back so they don't get targeted down like that first one did. Not a lot of lurkers here anymore from soO, though, I have to say, and I can imagine this next fight going in a similar direction to the last one. +3 finally on the way from Serral. We see no high from soO, so he's not going to be able to go in towards his own set of Vipers or anything. Just going to be seeing the lurkers, seeing what they can get up to. There it is. Vipers grab another lurker right now. Blinding Cloud as well pushes some Hydras forwards. Again, those Vipers just still trying to grab what they can. Serral, this time he's dropping a little bit in supply. Maybe because soO is already just rebuilt, and it's always a bit deceitful looking at the supply in these Zerg versus Zerg fights because sometimes one player just starts up their round of production to reinforce a little bit faster. Big Roach counterattack though. The 4th base of Serral goes down yet again. And as soO holds the 5th base in the center, Serral continuing to lose his own hatcheries is obviously very detrimental to him. In fact, if he loses the 3rd base as well, oh man, well that's huge. Even if he kills all of these roaches, I mean, I guess it is a lot of roaches. He'll immediately rebuild these hatcheries. There's a lot of roaches to lose here, and maybe Serral again has an immediate opening with a counter moving forwards. Where does he go? He's actually gonna, I mean, he wants to just go this way, right? I mean, he just wants to break through this hatch here. If he could pick away out those lurkers with the Vipers once again, he can push this position. Viper's going to push on forwards, looking to see what they can do. One lurker grabbed, it goes down right away. Again, a little bit more action here. Roaches and Hydra's getting into play. Again, a few more lurkers going down right away too. I like it. Trying to reburrow them at the front too. Oh, nice fungal growth. We actually haven't seen the fungals for a little while, it feels like. But that was a nice couple to grab this army. And again, Serral is definitely taking the better fights. He just needs to stabilize and be able to hold some more of his bases. Because if he isn't mining, he will just lose this game from lack of economy. soO is not trading very efficiently. Oh, a fungal growth in the center of that Roach Hydra. You are going to see Roaches and Hydras going down here once again. Infested Terrans. A few of them popping out just to help. Serral, 106 to 94 army supply. Still taking some good trades, I feel, here. Still taking some good trades. You see those Vipers coming through. They're going to start consuming up on that hive. And again, the +2 missile, +2 Carapace upgrade coming through as well from soO. He's actually going to be ahead on Carapace, but he is way behind when it comes to the actual missiles. We actually see Serral taking another fight here, which is looking pretty good. Another lurker abducted forwards. There's one more lurker in the back here. soO is running out of units. Serral is pushing through the south side of the map. A few drones going down. This hatchery on the south side is going to get picked away at as well. A few corrosive barrels will pick off a roach here. I'm going to see that hatchery does indeed fall. Hatchery falls. Serral pulling back a little bit once again. 30 army supply, well 30 supply down right now from soO. Again, his units lost is 10,000, 11,000 behind that is Serral. Serral's fights have just been so good again and again and again. And yet here is, here is Serral, who is kind of just been trading so well that he just, even losing his bases hasn't mattered that much when he has lost them. soO's been in this game because of his extra economy throughout the entirety of the game, but now it's starting to disappear as his bases mine out. And look at that army supply difference. You've seen Serral winning these fights multiple times, and there's nothing really to stop him winning this one when soO can't even find the money to max out anymore. Just needs to find the right position. It's always difficult attacking into your opponent in the ZvZ, but maybe this is Serral's opportunity. Coming forward, the lurkers burrow again. He's looking to abduct those. He gets one. Actually, Blinding Cloud's another, which also affects this army. This time, for the first time, Serral is going to allow these lurkers to stick around. Just couldn't bring the overseers far enough forwards. Now he hits a fungal growth or two. Nice catches on a few more of those units. And again, Serral just chipping away at the units of soO. This is the 15th game of this series. It's the final game of the series. soO's already won it, but there's $50 extra per map, and Serral wants to make the most he could possibly make out of being in second place. Another fungal, more roaches and hydras being caught, and still pushing forwards. We're going to be seeing what? Just a Blinding Cloud? Oh, he just abducts all the lurkers. I was going to say maybe Blinding Cloud on those lurkers in the back, but, well, the abducts are good, and soO, he really is out of units this time. I think this might be the one where Serral just pushes forwards. There's no lurkers to stop this any longer. He pulls back. He wants to be careful. He doesn't have that much energy on the Vipers, so he's been very cautious about it. But as he pushes in, he's just going to see there isn't anything. He sees no lurker shots, and he's going to get a corrosive foul on the lurker that's morphing. And Serral is going to have too much. He's going to finalize this scoreline at 8-7. Serral takes the 15th game and an 8-7 scoreline.